It's spring in Indianapolis. Everything's in bloom, and the air is bright with bird song and re-emerging life. Spring is like a perhaps hand coming carefully out of nowhere, E.E. Cummings wrote. And after a long winter, the burst of spring indeed astonishes. But you can hear something else downtown, or rumbling along the banks of the White River. The greatest spectacle in racing is coming. They call the Indianapolis Motor Speedway the Cathedral of Speed. And for me, and 400,000 annual pilgrims like me, that distant roar we hear brings a smile that lasts the whole month of May. The Indy 500 is not just a race, it's community. For me, it means long bike rides along our city's beautiful canal paths down to the speedway. For others, it means tailgating with friends and family, some of whom you only see once a year. It means backpack coolers and headphones, and decades-long arguments over who's the greatest driver of all time. But the Indy 500 is also a car race, and the best one in the world. A race so thrilling and wondrous that it brings together more people than any other sporting event on Earth. This is Indianapolis. All around town, the checkered flags are out, porch parties abound, and everyone's invited. And this is the Indy 500, where we see what humans can accomplish in concert with twin turbocharged V6 engines and Firestone tires. This is the Brickyard, where they've been racing since before any of us were born. This is Speed City. Welcome to May.
It's time for the greatest day in all of INDYCAR. Yeah, the Indy 500 may be spectacular, but there's really nothing quite like qualifying day. There's anticipation in the air. The nerves are on point. Welcome to Indianapolis. A bright and sunny day greets us here at the Speedway, and we're set for the top 12, the fast 6, and bumping somebody out of the greatest spectacle in racing. Hello everybody and welcome to the Indy 500 and qualifying day 2 here on JB Motorsports. We're shortly going to be joined by Matthew Owens as we link up with USRN, but this is the best place in the house. Between us all, we have watched and covered INDYCAR for many a year, and we are all set to see who's going to be on pole position. Over the next 4 hours, we're all set, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. JT is alongside me as well. And we're all set then, aren't we, JT, for an absolutely spectacular session. We've even got the Moe in. A proper Moe champagne, ready to go. Coincidentally, it's my parents' 40th wedding anniversary today. They're Ruby, as you can tell, so cheers to them, and I'll say cheers to everybody. But who's going to be sipping sweet tonight, JT, as I have the pole ahead of next Sunday's race? Cheers.
Drinking on a JB Motorsports stream before we've actually got a broadcast out of the way. Very professional of you, JB.
Well, I wasn't
hello everyone,
cake, but...
and well, someone who is going to be on the sidelines, Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah, big accident in the practice session 2 hours ago, coming out, flipping over as well, our third flip at the test. This is getting a bit scary now, isn't it, JT? The rear of the cars are getting so much heavier with the hybrids. The wind's still at the exit of the circuit as well. It just takes them up out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, the hybrid, it being more heavy on one end of the car, that doesn't help as well as... all the cars are lined up for the fast 12. 11 out of the 12 cars. Scott McLaughlin not taking part. Here is a replay of it. Look how high that wheel bounced.
Well, I'm going to show you on board now with the accident as well. And It was quite a heavy impact coming out, hits the wall, flips over, and it actually made several marks in the concrete and in the tarmac, so the way the car bounced up as well. He was perfectly okay. They've done a lot of work, they are doing a lot of work, but he is not going to be out for this session, JT. And I think as well that is the wisest option is to not let him out there. They need to build up that car. He's already in, and he's going to start 12th on the grid. I think that's the best situation you can think of.
Well, the best situation from a bad situation.
Yes.
As you don't really want to be crashing out, do you? Just before qualifying, day 2.
No, it is the worst thing that could happen. It happened at the worst time, but it was arguably the easiest way to do it across it. So we're waiting for the track to go green, and then the session will begin. Everybody will get at least one confirmed timed run in this session. That goes for now. This is how it's going to run for today. The top 12 will go out, and then we'll have bump day, and then the fast 6 will go out, and the last run will be hopefully our pole sitter out here today. But someone is going home, JT, this evening, and arguably, it could be one of the Rahal Lanigan Racing's. Bit of a struggle coming through, but Graham Rahal this time out is safe.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we all know who a high possibility it could be being bumped, and that is the 51 of Jacob Abel. He's not been with the pace at all throughout the whole Indy 500 campaign this year.
No, he is not as well. As you see, this is your drivers, the top 12, Palou, McLaughlin, Newgarden, O'Ward, Dixon, Schwarzman, Malukas, Rosenquist as well, and the rest that will come on. But obviously Scotty Mack not taking part, JT, in said session. He will be waiting. Let's get out to Georgia for some more news.
Spectacle in racing. I did catch up with Kyle Moyer and asked him, how are you going to get these cars identical? And he said, give us 2 sessions tomorrow. The cars will be identical. He is going to a backup speedway car that has never hit the track. They need 2 sessions tomorrow, and that car will be back up to speed. Guys?
Thank you very much. All right, let's head up to the booth with the guys who will be calling the Indy 500 and take us through the few hours of practice today. The group is Townsend Bell, James Hinchcliffe, and Will Buxton. You guys take it away.
Chris, thank you so much. Townsend, James, this is where it gets serious, because it's not just about being fast. As we've seen throughout this week of both practice and qualifying, it is about dancing with disaster.
You're testing the speed of your car, but the next few hours are the most emotionally tense times for these drivers this season. Mostly what you're testing is desire. I believe the most powerful force in the universe. How badly do you want to be in the Indy 500, and how badly do you want to be on pole for the biggest race in the world?
Well, I think another very powerful force in the universe is physics, and this is a game of dancing on the edge of grip and crashing. You got to go absolutely as fast as you can. You got to dance that thing with just the smallest mistake causing big impacts. And here's what we've got. We've got the top 12 cars. They're going to re-qualify from today. Yesterday's times are thrown out. The top 6 will advance to the Firestone Fast 6. Fastest qualifier in the Firestone Fast 6, of course, starts on pole for the greatest spectacle in racing. But in between, Townsend, we've got to set the final grid spots. 31st, sorry, through 33rd gets at that last row shootout. 1 driver will be going home.
4 drivers going.
And we're getting ready for the green flag, JT, and the first lap time will start, and it's going to come from Christian Lundgaard as he ventures out onto the circuit, down through 1 and 2, and immediately pushes up high. Delighted to say that joining us now here in the commentary box is the Oracle himself. It is Matthew Owens who syncs up with us. Matthew, welcome to you. This is it then. One of the best days of the year. How you doing, my friend?
It is one of the best days of the year as we bring everyone back on USR, and as well, hello to JB and JT here with me once again today. Christian Lundgaard is on the racetrack. It's going to be a fantastic day as Lundgaard comes around to complete his first lap, the 12th fastest yesterday. That's why he goes out first today. Of course, 11 qualifiers here in this first session without Scott McLaughlin after his crash earlier today. And JB, tell us what Lundgaard and the McLaren did on lap number 1.
To 2:31.572. Very quick opening lap time. He's used only 4% of his hybrid power, so he is going to be much, much, much faster as this lap goes on, because we know one thing. We have got to relearn everything, because you can go faster after your opening gambit in this race now. Yeah, that's a new thing. Didn't have that before, did we?
Yeah, it was so strange sitting here watching yesterday lap 3 and 4 being just as quick, if not faster, than laps 1 and 2. Lap 2 for Lundgaard was a tick faster at 231.6 miles per hour. So this papaya orange and white McLaren for Christian Lundgaard, third in the IndyCar Championship through the first 5 races of the year, trying to go after what would be his best starting position in his Indianapolis 500 career, makes his way onto the main straightaway. He completes lap number 3 and sees the white flag, and that third lap comes in at 231.173 miles per hour.
Average now down to 231.448. We'll see that hopefully rise in a few moments' time as well. This will be his last run. He's looking good. He's using all the hybrid power now on the run down towards turn number 3. Keeps that car completely in line. Slices it in. Pushes power down. What have we got then? Over the banking. Down the backstretch. What's our gambit time for Christian Lundgaard in the fast 12? Everybody gets one confirmed run. Then we just keep on going. And it's a 231.097, averages out 231.360. Not a bad time there, Matthew. And by the way, cheers to you. Proper Moe, parents' 40th wedding anniversary. So celebrating.
Very good. Well, send them my congratulations. As the checkered flag has been received by Lundgaard, he will have not only his best career starting position at the 500, but he'll do so by a mile. Last year was his best career 500 starting spot at 28th. He's guaranteed no worse than 11th for this year. So Lundgaard has run first of 11 to make their run here in this Fast 12 session, and now setting off goes car number 28, Marcus Ericsson, the former winner and runner-up of the 500. He did that in back-to-back years in 2022 and 23. As his Andretti Global Honda heads towards the racetrack. Fox has gone to break. That was very quick.
Our first run, and then it goes through, yeah. Don't anticipate them to stay long here this evening. That's what I'm noticing. Track's gone yellow, as just need to update our systems here. Dear, dear, dear. It's all such a mess. Because they've decided, yeah, by the way, we're going to change everything and not tell you on this day of qualifying that. But you're going to have to find everything yourself. And also, I've got to redo the qualifying graphic because, well, there's no timer in this session. It's just the information for the qualifying. So this is your top 12 shootout as things stand. And do you know what I've done? I can't find where that number is for the screen. I've lost it. So I'll find that. What have you made then so far this whole week? What's your thoughts, first of all, on what happened with Scotty Mack out of the qualifying day?
Yeah, a terrible, terrible accident again happening at turn 2, and just there's no slow spins here at Indianapolis, certainly not this month at least, as the INDYCAR app was not wanting to work whatsoever yesterday, and it's not working for me today either, so that's glorious. But yeah, Scott McLaughlin, terrible crash, and yeah, they didn't want to hurry to get a car out there, scramble so quickly where they would be putting him in even more danger of crashing a second car. So go ahead, not run today. Take 12th on the grid. You can see why they made that decision for sure, as Marcus Ericsson has received the green flag.
Right, well, I've managed to sort out the graphic, so that's something at least to get it sorted. Ericsson coming through. Starts his next lap time run. First lap time on the board now, and it is a 231.030 as your first banker lap time. I need to adjust my legs. I left the box, everything was fine. I've come back in, it's all a mess. I wasn't even in the last session. It was IndyCar Radio when Scotty Mack went over. I was taking some very, very well-earned rest. As you can probably tell by the vocals, they were a bit damaged after this past week.
Of course, a disaster for Ericsson last year, having to go through the last row shootout. Now he's in the Fast 12 for this year. I can tell you that Joseph Newgarden's car is being wheeled back behind the wall in Gasoline Alley. They are also backing Will Power's car back up the pit road, so that's two Penske's that are being pushed out of their positioning in line. Try to keep you updated with that, as Ericsson just completed his second lap at 230.910.
Much better run then, so he'll try and build up more and more speed, more and more time. He's on the edge now. Could be a blessing in disguise for Scotty Mack, of course. This weather that's having around is not great because it's the wind, and that's just been building and building and building all weekend long. And it's snapped again. Ericsson's next lap time, 230.914 as he takes the white flag. So he's keeping it consistent. This will put him second, but it's an average time of 230.951 at the moment. If he can keep it in that, he might just get himself into the Firestone Fast 6.
They have also taken the rear wing off of the Joseph Newgarden car down on pit road, so either something is wrong with it or something did not pass inspection there on the Newgarden car. One of those two things have happened. They've taken the rear wing off of Newgarden's car. They are still on pit road, though. Looked like they were going to wheel it behind the wall, but now they've brought it back to pit road to make the necessary adjustments. Ericsson comes to the checkered flag, completing his run with a fourth lap of 231.2, so his fastest lap was lap 4. The 4-lap average is only second best of the two at 231.0. Now they have taken Will Power's car behind the wall.
Right, well, this now screams to me that there's something else that we need to take a look at here from Penske. What are they, A, planning? B, what have they got up their sleeve? C, why don't we know about it yet? They're not really that secretive. We tend to find out stuff quite quickly here at the IndyCar series, and I'm sure in a moment or two they'll inform us as our next run-arounds are about to appear out on the circuit. Meantime, we're just sorting everything out with our screens. And no urgency apparently going on down there, Matthew. They are all, so far, working to a plan. If they could tell us what the plan is, that would be very nice of them. Because this is just a bit of an unknown surprise right now.
Yeah, they have not... so they're going to take Power's car all the way back to the garage stall.
Wow.
And Gasoline Alley. They have not done the same with Joseph's car, however. We are going to try to keep up with that. Of course, anytime you search Will Power on Twitter, you don't get updates about Will Power, the driver. You get Bible verses or whatever else about having willpower. That's great. Okay, here is the confirmation. Both of those cars did fail tech.
Wow.
Newgarden and Power. So they have both failed tech. They have to be taken out of line and make the necessary adjustments, and then they will have to go back through technical inspection. While they do that, on the racetrack is two-time Indy 500 winner Takuma Sato coming towards the green flag.
Yeah, Sato should be a little bit easier to run with here. He's felt comfortable all weekend long. He's had pace in this new car. Of course, the other one ended up in pieces at the end of April, but this is looking faster.
Yeah, it looked really good yesterday. He ran twice. His second run was the fastest at 232.4. Sato already using some of his hybrid energy here on this first lap. Lets it regain energy on the way to turn 3, but already using some on lap number 1. We'll see if the drivers change up their strategy on how to use that from yesterday to today. And let's see what Sato turns in for his first lap. His RLL number 75 across the line at 231.937. That'll do just fine for Sato.
Megan's been standing at the side. Why is your hair like that? Megan says, well, thank you very much. She's just brought me in 2 Maltesers truffles as well. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'll sit them on front of my desk here as well in the comms box. 231.880 then for Sato on lap number 2 as he's building up speed. And he did use a bit more hybrid power too.
So on to the second half of his run now is Takuma Sato, 2-time winner of the race in 2017 and 2020. Makes his way through turn number 1. Car does look very solid on the racetrack. Looks very dug into the track, which we were wondering about coming to today. It is warmer today, not drastically, but it is warmer by about 6 or 7 degrees ambient, which means the track temperature is up. At last check, the track temp was 124.
Power and Newgarden would not be allowed to make an attempt.
Wow.
In Penske's back door, they will start 12, 11, 10 on this grid. That's shocking. Did not expect that. 2:31.376 though for Sato. This is a mighty run from him. He's barely lost any time on this run. Sato finding the run, but this is they will not be allowed to make a run at all. They are out of the Fast 6. Is there even any point in competing? We've only got the Fast 9 effectively.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which, by the way, is the number that I said yesterday we should just stick
9,
to.
yeah.
Just say, wow, Sato was wide off of turn 4. He kept it off the wall somehow as he comes to the flag.
And he's done a 2:31.5, averaged out 2:31.8, 2:31.686. He goes fastest on the board. Mighty good from Sato there, by quite a margin. It's 0.3 of a mile an hour. So let's just quickly have a word with Kevin Lee.
The reason we'll need to get a comment from the team. We are efforting from Team Penske.
So just not allowed to make a run.
Well, Penske failing pre-qualifying technical inspection. Does that mean they are out of qualifying?
Well, I'd say yes, Will Buxton of Fox Sports. To me, that's quite obviously an outage, as the 60's going to make a run.
Well, this has changed absolutely everything, because between Newgarden, McLaughlin, and Power, 3 of the biggest bullets for Alex Palou to avoid, and now this was already Alex Palou's pole to win or lose. Now, all he really has to beat is O'Ward and Dixon, you would think.
Easily
not trying to discredit anybody else, but the only ones that were even close to Palou yesterday were those 3 Penskes and Dixon, and then O'Ward kind of started to fall down a little bit late. I'm not sure if Alex Palou is going to have a true rival other than maybe Scott Dixon when we get to the run for the pole later. Of course, his teammate from Ganassi.
Just trying to find a run as we see now Felix Rosenqvist will start his warm-up lap. I'm just trying to find out if there's any information on Twitter, but it has frozen. Our system servers have gone down. Fine time as well for that to happen, so we can't actually tell. But right now, we have not got any of the Penskes participating. Scott McLaughlin crashed earlier on in the practice session, and now it looks like Joseph Newgarden and Will Power have failed the technical services, which means they are not allowed to run. They're not allowed to compete. Over the line then, green flag in the air, and the lap time starts for Felix Rosenqvist. Its warm-up lap was a 2:18.425, starting to get very, very tasty as this session goes on.
Amazing. The Penskes last year swept the front row. This year they will sweep the 4th row on the grid for the 500. They will all start together 10th, 11th, and 12th. Unless, of course, unless Newgarden and Power are penalized even more. If they are found that this infraction is worse than we think it is, they might be sent to the back. We'll find that out during the day or the week as Rosenqvist comes to complete his first lap in car number 60, 2:32.497. Well, Felix Rosenqvist yesterday, remember, had very good top-end speed, and he's just showed us that here on lap number 1 today.
Interesting enough, as Car 2 and Car 12 have failed pre-qualification tech, will not be allowed to set a time. So then Christopher DeHard has put on Twitter, the next one sentence is how the 4th row will look. Is McLaughlin going to be 12th because he didn't present for the session, with Power 11th and Newgarden 10th because Newgarden was fast on Saturday? It doesn't make sense, but Joseph Newgarden's attempt for 3 in a row could be in doubt here. Rosenqvist's second lap time, 2:32.613. Faster than his first run, and he didn't use any hybrid power.
Again, they had top-end speed in this car yesterday, so they have brought it back to the track today for Rosenqvist, who did start on the front row here in 2023.
I'd be surprised if the captain isn't saying, you know, what's going on here? You've embarrassed me when I own the series, and this is my biggest event of the year. What have you done? Kind of holding a mirror up to himself. White flag in the air, third lap time, 2:32.361. He's fastest still, and over a nearly 0.8 of a mile an hour. This is a great run from Rosenquist.
And he's going to be able to use just about all of his hybrid energy here on this lap. Comes out of turn 2 with still 60% of the battery left. So Rosenquist very well could put in 4 consecutive laps at 2:32. Might have to get the crack research team down to see if anyone did that yesterday. 4 straight laps at 2:32 as Rosenquist looks at turn 4, and he is just about set to go to the top of the scoring pylon right here.
It is carbon copy across the board. It's a 2:32.621 at the board, and he goes fastest, average of 2:32.523. Wow. That is stunning. That could be a pole time for Rosenquist coming up.
Nearly a full mile an hour faster than Sato, so if they can do that again later today, Felix is going to be really tough to beat. Elio Castroneves down there in the Meyer-Shank pit stall appreciates it. Fist bumping all the crew members. That's a heck of a run, though, for Felix Rosenquist.
So, I don't actually know where JT is at the moment. Hopefully, he might be back soon.
What?
Jackson Lambrose?
What did Penske do? I just came from another race. What?
Well, we don't know what they've done yet, but they've done something very bad.
Welcome to the broadcast, Jackson Lambrose. Are you all right, my friend? How are you doing?
So, good stuff from Shank. All ends of the field right now. Fro to the front. And, I mean, the gladiator effort that team has had. All 3 teams working on Marcus Armstrong's car to even get him in contention, get that Franken car back. And hearing him from the press conference yesterday, absolutely no data on tire alignment, on ride height, just felt it out and was within 5 miles an hour on the pace. On feels alone.
Where are you
Get that man a Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Where are you? Are you in your setup? Did you want your camera? Here comes Sato.
It's coming on. It's just, going faster a lot. So I don't know if we can survive, but if we're in a top 6, that's our dream result.
Yeah, where are you, Jackson, as we begin the lap time?
I am here as we watch David Malukas on. Here's Marshall Pruitt, by the way. Per IndyCar, Team Penske are not allowed to participate in the Fast 12 qualifying session after pulling the numbers 2 and 12 from the qualifying line. That means that all 3 Penske Chevys expected to vie for pole will start P10, 11, and 12 for the 109th running.
Oh, that's right. Get its own script, Matthew.
Swept the front row last year. They'll sweep the 4th row this year. Can't wait to hear what they did as David Malukas comes through to complete his first lap. 2:32.5 was his best run yesterday, 4-lap average. It's a 2:31.9 to start his day for the young driver from Chicago.
Could still, he's ahead of Sato, but he needs to find some serious pace if he's going to get ahead of Rosenquist. Everyone's at least guaranteed 1 run in this session, and then it's up to anybody else if you want to go again. Bump day, you're allowed to do as many as you like to come in, and we get a full hour time for that one.
I could totally jinx this, but I feel like Dave's been a guy that's been more conservative lap by lap, maybe able to find time. We'll see as he comes across the stripe here. It's a 2:31.839. Just ignore anything I'm saying, gentlemen.
It's still second fastest.
His first lap of his fastest run yesterday was a 2:33 flat, so he's nowhere close to that speed here. For the driver that, of course, wasn't here last year to run, did start 13th in 2022 as a rookie. Heads towards turn 3 here as he will be looking at the white flag here in a matter of moments.
And I
think, Matt, I think, Mo, we knew that we were going to have an AJ Foyt racing car in the top 12. I don't think we reckoned it was going to be Chicago Dave in his return to the 500. Lap number 3, 2:31.446.
So this is now averaging out still a second. He's over Sato's time, Matthew.
Yeah, this is a consistent run for sure. And again, with what has happened with the 3 Penske cars here, now you've got 9 drivers going for 6 spots to make the Fast 6. So if you can just sneak in here to 3rd, you're looking pretty good as Malukas rounds turn number 4 to complete his 10-mile run.
Over the line, and it will be the 231.273, averages out 231.599. Respectable, but it has dropped him to 3rd behind Sato.
Front row provisionally for Chicago, Dave, but with guys like Dixon and O'Ward still to go, especially with guys like Alex Pillow still to run, you've got to imagine that this is far from over to decide who our top 3 will be. Here's your big story all weekend long, though, guys. Prema at the start of this weekend were easily your, big guys to be thinking about being bumped from this field. And Robert Schwarzman, somehow, some way, in his first race, in his team's first race, here at the 500, qualified 6th fastest yesterday. He's going to see if he can match that pace right now.
Yeah, I love this story. No one could have seen this coming from this team or this driver. And yeah, he went out very early yesterday. I think he was the 3rd or 4th out. But the conditions did not change drastically and did not get hotter and hotter as the day went on, as we so often see here. So they did this. They did this truly and honestly. They didn't come by this just because they found a good number in the blind draw. So this is terrific to see Robert Schwarzman and Prema get to this point. And if he can repeat what he did yesterday, could go for the pole later today as well. Needs to get, let's see, what are we down to? We're down to 4 left. So if he could get up there towards Sato, may just get through into the Fast 6. As he's on the back straightaway on his warm-up lap is the rookie Schwarzman.
Now, I don't know if any of you... I don't know if any of you two saw this, but we now know why President Biden didn't run for re-election. He's suffering a very aggressive form of bowel cancer, which has spread to his bones.
Oh.
So that's why he didn't stand for re-election. So best wishes to President Biden as well. That's a horrible, horrible disease.
Wow. Well, that's terrible to hear. Thoughts and prayers for sure to Joe and his entire family. You don't have to be right or left or down the middle or whatever to be able to say thoughts and prayers to Joe Biden as Robert Schwarzman heads towards turn number 4. Red, white, and green, the Italian flag colors heading towards the green flag. Let's go, Robert Schwarzman. See what you got for us today.
First lap time, 2:33!
Wow!
What the hell has Prema done? Where did that come from? We knew the car had speed in the open test, but they've just done a 2:33! Rubbish.
I think there is something to be said, gentlemen, about the clean slate. This is one of the few drivers that's come in without having to deal with that adaptation to the hybrid system behind you. Zach Veach was talking about how much of an advantage it was in 2018 coming in fresh, when this aero kit was brand new and so many people were having to deal with what it was like shedding off so much of that aero from the UAK. Lap number 2, what's it going to be, Josh?
2:32.556. Faster still than Rosenquist's average time. Now, Robert Schwarzman, the Russian driver who obviously, for neutrality's sake, decided to race under another nation, chose his second parent's nationality of Israel, and that's just thrown up a whole nother kerfuffle for him. So he's had bad luck right now, so he's literally just saying, I'm just racing for myself. Whatever the flag it is, that's fine. I'm here, I'm racing. He's more time spent in the UK in the past couple of years. He's trying out America this time, though. White flag in the air, lap 3 to 2:31.058 for Robert Schwarzman.
It's a big drop-off. It's huge drop-off from lap 1 to lap 2. He can hold on to this, though. He could still get up there to second. He's tracking second right now if he can just put together a clean lap.
Over the line in a few minutes. Go on, Jackson.
On the button at all their mo. So what I'm seeing is I think he's through turn 3 a little bit low, but we'll be behind the the line.
Over the line, and it's a 2:31, 2:58, average out 2:32.008.
That's awesome. That's an awesome run from that team. What a weekend so far.
I've just seen a tweet from Fifth Gear and at not Fifth Gear on Twitter, by the way. You're gonna race Fox NASCAR. We got commercials. Oh dear. So apparently Fox have had more commercials in the past 5 minutes than they have in the wild. So I assume you're watching that. You can tell that. Oh, radio.
And he's not even happy
that
with
was
the car.
Dixon coming through. Tell how damaged the vocal cords are after an amazing weekend we've had here on JB Motorsports. The action doesn't stop. We still coming a cropper with the racing here. Do not go anywhere, because here come the big guns. Scott Dixon is out next.
Well, this is Dixon's run today, and then, of course, later today, Dixon making a run for history. Driver could go for a 6th Indianapolis 500 pole. Only Rick Mears has more poles at this race than Dixon has now. He won from the pole in 2008, and here comes the Iceman taking the first step of the day towards winning pole number 6.
Lo, our saviour has come. Jackson Lambros has cameras. Hello, my friend. Green flag. Next time by. I can hear highway to the danger zone. Probably not best to do a Top Gun thing. That's the last thing we need. Just to let you know, we are struggling to hear you, Jackson.
Right.
Okay, that... Okay, well, as we wait for a little bit of a sound check in a moment with an issue, Matthew Owens, we're starting a lap time now, and the green light goes on, and away we go.
Okay, so off goes Scott Dixon, PNC-baked Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing. Smoothest driver that you could ever want, with his hands on the wheel, going 230-plus miles an hour at the world's greatest race course. Comes up out of turn number 2 and heads down the 5/8 of a mile back straightaway.
Desperately trying to pick up the accelerant. Tones are coming. He's really been on a form, hasn't he, Dixon? He's been liking it several times in how fast he can get it through. Over the line. First lap time to 2:32.301. Puts him second fastest, Matthew.
Yeah, that's a good opening lap here to start for Dixon. And, you know, Scott Dixon is very much the type of person to say, we don't have to be quickest in this session. It's the next session that pays all the money, that gives you your starting position. So he may be holding back a little bit, if you can possibly say that, when he just clocked it at 2:32.3.
We were to say, this is the story of the 2025, the kid from Israel. He did not even practice as he was scared, and he's got it now, and he's doing the runs. Firestone fast 6, the Jess says as well for Schwarzman. Jen says, how the hell did Prema do that? They were garbage at the beginning of the week. They found the pace. They found the magic juice, as Kirby would put it. And it's lap 2, 2:32.166 on the board. Coming in now for Dixon, averaging still in P2. This would kick out Marcus Ericsson, currently from the fast 6.
Yeah, Ericsson, the slowest of the cars that have run so far in this session at 2:31 flat. And again, only a couple to go here with what happened with the Penske Chevrolets. Here comes Scott Dixon up out of turn number 4. White flag is waiting for Dixon at the Yard of Bricks. He begins his final lap, and lap 3 comes in at 2:31.584. He is averaging just slightly ahead of Schwarzman in second. Gonna have to put a good lap in here to stay ahead of Schwarzman, however.
This is better. This is now going to put him safely in as things stand. INDYCAR will order 3 Penskes based on speed, so it'll be McLaughlin 10th, Newgarden 11th, Power 12th. That's how they're going to order it. So McLaughlin gets a better qualifying and maybe crash.
Yeah, No kidding. Here's Dixon to the flag here. Josh, let's see where he slots in. It'll either be second or third by the looks of it.
It is third. It is over to third, so that's kicked out Marcus Ericsson. His average was a 2:31.971. Only two more cars to go.
Yeah, that means that Sato is locked in to the fast 6. Lundgaard on the bubble. Malukas is the 1/5. But Sato, Dixon, Schwarzman, and Rosenquist are locked into the fast 6. How about that? Robert Schwarzman locked into the fast 6. Look at him go.
Well done, Prema. You really surprised me there. I don't know if JT's around in the background to answer a question on that. What do you make of that? The little Prema team from Europe are smashing the big leads in America. Not there.
Oh, goodness.
Knock, anybody home? No? Okay. Dear me. Next up out on track, shall we?
So this will be Pato O'Ward, and as we said, just 2 more to go here, O'Ward and Palou. Now these are 2 very well could be loaded up to take the fastest spots away, and again, in the fast 6, they will go out in the reverse order here. So 6th fastest in this session will go first, and so on. That way, whoever's fastest in this session has the advantage of going out the latest, and you would think the coolest. But here's Pato O'Ward. We know what he's done on race day here the past couple of years and how good he's been on race day at the 500. He hasn't shown a ton of speed qualifying here. 7th is his best start in this race in 22. He started 8th. In fact, in the last 2 500s, he started 8th. He's trying to find that first front row starting spot here and maybe even go for pole later today.
Yes, 2nd, of course, last year in the race. Fraction away from victory. I thought he had it in his hands, but Newgarden was so much faster. He will take the green flag this time by, and we will get the first time for Pato O'Ward. Can he break his way in to the Firestone Fast 6? That'll happen in around about an hour's time. Of course, what is locked in, of course, is we get the full-on run for the 1 hour bump day session where we're mainly going to be filling for a little bit of time, aren't we? As O'Ward starts his lap time 2:34 through turn 1 speed trap.
Pretty close there, coming off of turn 1 to the wall, Pato, so he's already using up a lot of racetrack here on this first lap, the McLaren driver. Lundgaard, the other McLaren driver here in this session, is on the bubble, so he's trying to bump out his teammate here as he heads to turn 3.
There's going to be a lot of fists in the air at this point if they bump each other. O'Ward's first lap time then, over we go, and it is a 2:32.799. Stunning lap for a fast 12 run. I think even with that, he's safely through. That's already put Lundgaard out.
Yeah, just keep it clean here to the flag, Pato, and should be through into the fast 6 with only Alex Palou to go as he hurdles down the back straightaway at terrific speed, heading to the northeast corner, turn number 3.
Keeps it low. Swings back up. Taking the tight lines as well. It's what we like to see here. Runs up to the... He's very close to the wall. Exit turn 4, actually, was Pato. Second lap is a 2:31.618. Puts him down to second. So Rosenquist looks like he's going to top this session. Not too bad.
Alex Palou will have a lot to say about that. Alex Palou has a lot to say about everything these days.
When doesn't he? I'm expecting Alex Palou to come in and be on one of those rockets from Mario Kart. Just whoosh, there he's gone.
Unbeatable right now. Fastest yesterday, of course. That's why he gets to go last here as Pato O'Ward comes up out of turn number 4. White flag is waiting for him at the yard of bricks as he completes his 3rd lap. Screams across the line, O'Ward. Lap 3 at 2:32.1, so he's gone faster from lap 2 to lap 3. He's averaging 2:32.172. That would put him second fastest if he can hold it up as he swings up out of turn number 2 and blazes down the back straightaway for the final time on this first run.
If O'Ward does win the 500, that shot from the helicopter camera of him going down the start-finish race past the pagoda, that will be in his movie. And the documentary that he's made about him winning is when it's so long. He was denied last year. Pato Who was the pre-season stuff. And now I think he wants to make it. It's Pato O'Ward. And he's here. And he is in. Out goes Lundgaard.
Wow.
O'Ward is in with a solid time. 2:32.186.
What a fourth lap. Again, lap 4 continues to be either the fastest or second fastest lap of runs with this new hybrid system. So, terrific fourth lap. As we've talked about throughout the weekend, Josh, we're having to recalibrate our brains to this, but Pato's done really well in that fourth lap, second fastest, as you mentioned. Bumps out Lundgaard, puts Malukas on the bubble, and the final run of this session coming up here with Palou.
Interesting question here. How many, from Denver, how many cars a team can enter the 500? Well, in my opinion, it's a maximum of 5 was the rule that was added in before, but still, only 33 can qualify.
No hard limit there,
Yeah.
Josh. The new limit with the charter system implemented this year is you are basically permitted 3 cars, depending on how much you were running before this. And it's a hard limit of the current list. Let's hear from Robert real quick.
Cheering, they are clapping for you. You have a rocket ship under your feet. Tell me about that run. What are the emotions?
Well, you know, I'm shaking a little bit. It's really hot here, so I knew that the car is going to be quite difficult to drive. It's going to be nervous. And, you know, I did my first lap just flat out. I did a 33.1. I was like, okay, car seems to be good. But I was already like with the expectation, where am I going to be? Like, how is it going to be like lap 2, lap 3? And then I start to feel the car starts to move. And I'm like, all right, I need to find the tools, find a way to keep it going. And honestly, I was just trying to make the car as calm as possible. And I don't know, but it seems like we're in top 6 now. So yeah, just need to focus on what we're going to do in top 6 and do the best job we can there.
The car was calm. Nobody else was. Congratulations, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not only.
So here we go then. What has Pato O'Ward got to give us? The man who currently is INDYCAR.
Hello.
What did I say?
I do enjoy, though, how you asked JT a question moments ago, a serious question he doesn't answer, but he waits until you make a mistake, a slip of the tongue to come in and correct you. Very well done, JT. Your job around here is obviously quite safe, as Alex Palou, whose job is also quite safe, takes the green flag.
I can't believe I did that. That's, to be fair, I didn't sleep.
First of all, absolutely amazing run from Robert Schwarzman. So strong, and well, it's a massive surprise to the INDYCAR community here at Indianapolis for Framer to be that high up. There's the answer to the question.
Are we about to see Palou go top here out of the last corner, over the line, and it is a 2:32.156. So
yesterday he was fastest, only one of only 3 drivers to have a 4-lap average above 2:33. It was 2:33.043. So he's quite down on lap 1, being just a 2:32.1. Again, it is warmer, not a ton, but his first lap yesterday was a 2:33 flat. So he's almost a mile an hour off of his first lap here from his first lap yesterday.
By the way, Alex Palou, 28th in his maiden Indy 500. That was the COVID 500 that Sato won his second. But since then has not been a single time he has finished the greatest spectacle in racing higher than the top 10. Worst of that sample size was 2022, where he had his little collision with Rinus VeeKay in the pit lane. Still managed to salvage that home in P9. But then other than that, a second in 2021 and a 4th and 5th in 23 and 24 respectively. This guy's been wanting this win for a while, and it could start right here.
Yeah, 3 top 5s in the last 4 500s, and in those last 4 500s, he's led 119 laps, but he's never led the most laps. He's very good here, despite having never won on an oval. Josh, he's got the white flag.
Yeah, and that lap is making me worry. He's dropped to 5th now in the standings. He needs to pick it up a bit, because he's just 0.1 a mile an hour off from being bumped out of the top 6. So he just needs to keep this average, speed up a little bit, use all this hybrid, gain that speed back that he loses, and then we can go. High temps, low wind, perfect running conditions. And it should be safe. He's used all the hybrid now. This should be a very safe run for Palou. I think that's what To be fair, to use a baseball expression here, over the yard of bricks, safe. 5th fastest. And after 9, that's it.
Yeah, safe, but I have to say, a little bit surprised that he's 5th fastest. He's slower than his teammate, slower than the Prima. A little bit surprised by that. But again, I said earlier with Dixon, not going to be surprised if Dixon is holding back. Maybe we shouldn't be surprised if Pillow and Ganassi as a whole is just holding back a little bit. Not this section that pays the money.
I think the other question we need to ask is, has the 10 crew shown their full hand at this point in qualifying? Hugs from David Malukas as his day will end. He will certainly be satisfied to return to the 500, rolling off P7, as this 3rd row is now set after our 4th row has been impromptly set. So it will be David Malukas alongside Christian Lundgaard, and I did not see who was 9th.
9th, Ericsson, yeah.
Thank you.
Scotty might just head out of the track to do a warm-up and then come back in. He did.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
He did. Scotty went out and came back in again.
So next session, which is, depending on how you want to call it, bump day, last chance, last row shootout.
Last row
many
shootout.
Names for it these days. But it was scheduled to start at 5:15, but of course that's when we thought we'd have 12 runners in this first session. So maybe they'll bump it up, maybe they won't. But we will see as we turn our attention from the fastest yesterday to the slowest yesterday.
If JT's
Maybe
here,
they'll bump. Yeah, go on. Hello.
I need to step away to start the NASCAR coverage on Megan's laptop, so I'm going to put you onto battle screen, and you can have the audio.
Thanks. My audio is currently not working at the moment, so we will chat and chat and chat. Don't worry, JB. So, Matthew, what you're saying is that they could bump up bump day.
They could. They very... they could, yes. Again, you are the ones that spread the false propaganda, but if I had mayoral leadership here, I would do that. I would bump it up by 10 minutes. But again, I don't have that, even though you lot like to pound away at that.
Yes, Mayor. Jackson!
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
What did you think of the Fast 12?
Major Team Penske.
Good answer,
You
next
kind of
question.
loved... All right, cool.
Yeah, go on.
Josh leaves for 3 seconds and you think you can fight God. No, I think a big surprise, obviously, from Team Penske there, especially when they were considered, still looking for a front row lockout, had been fast all week long. Robert Schwarzman still absolutely impressing us as he will advance to the Fast 6. Then you look at Takuma Sato. I mean, that man has driven like he's still, driving in 2009. Some brilliant stuff from Taku, and a great job from the RLL crew to completely rebuild that car from the April Open test and not only get it back to that pace it had, but find a little bit more to get him into the Fast 6.
Awesome, thank you, Jackson. Omi, I'm going to throw you under the bus now.
Oh.
What did you think of the Fast 12, the part
He
that you
hasn't
saw? But hold on.
sent me a message yet on Twitter, by the way. I'm worried that he has not sent me a Twitter message.
Patro Ward.
A hard limiter hit there on my lap, too. That was pretty damaging to our run there, but we dial her in just a little bit more. I think it's going to be between me and Fro. Good old pals, yeah. So, no, I'm excited. The guys and gals at our McLaren, Team Chevy, I mean, they really have given me the tools this year in qualifying to just have the opportunity to be here. And, my goal is to be on the front row, but obviously we can get pole, that's going to be it. But, yeah, I'm pumped. Let's see what we can do.
Let's see. The two best friends going for pole.
Yeah, Pato O'Ward looking to become Pato O'Pole. Matthew?
I just wanted to mention, oh boy, I just wanted to mention what Jenna Fryer has just tweeted. She has tweeted out a picture of apparently what the Penske cars are in trouble for, and she says that it was allegedly pointed out by Chip Ganassi.
Absolutely amazing. And also, Matthew, I can do that as well. Hello.
Oh, very
hello.
good. Hi, Jack.
Anyway, Omi, you've had time to think. You were saved by Pato O'Ward. Thoughts on Fast 12?
A very interesting Fast 12. Also, yeah, great stuff. Thank you very much, Pato O'Ward, for that one. But yeah, Schwarzman doing absolutely brilliant. He's showing his talent and taking Prema all the way to the top, which is what we love, near the front as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what they are able to do as well. But an interesting top 12, I think, an interesting Fast 12, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of this is going to hold.
That speed of the final row, by the way, guys, is based off of how they were sorted out yesterday. So as a result, inside of row 4 will be Scott McLaughlin. Joseph Newgarden will be P11. Will Power will be on the outside, putting that number 12 car in P12.
Thank you, Omi. Thank you, Jackson. Omi, back to you. Did you see the Scott McLaughlin crash, or are you blind?
I am blind, unfortunately.
Okay, good. I've just seen a photo of Harry Benjamin in the Imola commentary box.
Yeah,
can he grow any taller?
Mr. 6'5". Yeah.
Well, Matthew, is there anything on USN that you need to do?
No. Not at the moment, no. Right now on the Deuce, we have Game 7 between Oklahoma City and Denver airing at the moment. For anyone that would like to listen to that Game 7, it is 60-40. Actually, they're at halftime, 60-46 Oklahoma City. So don't switch over. They're at halftime. You won't hear anything important. By the way, the top 6, the Fast 6, Meyershank, McLaren, Prema, Rahal, 2 Ganassis. Very eclectic half dozen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there is the USN housekeeping done, and now it's time for the JBM housekeeping.
All-Star race later tonight. Join us, 8 o'clock.
Yes, that. But you can join us live on JBM now if you want to watch the All-Star Open, which is live
We should
on
actually
JBM
mention
at
as
the moment.
well, really quickly, Mo, on the subject of basketball. First time in a while, we've had a Racers and Pacers month of May here where we have an overlap of playoff basketball and the Indianapolis 500. And now you add in the chaotic start of the Indiana Fever and the WNBA. It's good to be a Hoosier right now.
Yes, and I believe, if I have this right, and I may not have this right, hold on, I'll try to check here on the fly, because I don't want to spread false propaganda like our friend Seth Eves and Josh T does. Yes, I am right in saying this, that next Sunday, you're going to have the Indianapolis 500 during the day, and then Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals in Indianapolis, the Knicks and the Pacers at 8 o'clock next Sunday night. My
Cambridge
heavens.
Fieldhouse and IMS not as close as you might imagine. That's probably for the better right now as we're taking a look at what was actually going on with the Team Penske cars. I know Jenna Fryer circled something around the rear attenuator of the car. I'm trying to even figure out what they're doing over here. Alex Pillow and Joseph Newgarden seem about as puzzled as we are. As this is all work we're watching right now towards Joseph Newgarden's car. The circle from Jenna Fryer was, I believe, the mount for the rear wing itself on the on the attenuator itself. I'm still trying to figure out what the actual reasoning for that is. Please help me, Marshall Pruitt.
Yes, you can circle all that you want underneath one of these Indy cars. I will have no clue.
What's going on back there?
What it is, what it does. No, not at all. By the way, the PGA Championship has been turned upside down. John Rahm has come out of absolutely nowhere to tie Scotty Scheffler for the lead at 9 under. They are 2 ahead of Matty Fitzpatrick, JT Poston, and Alex Noren.
A JT mention that isn't on JBM, was that?
Quail Hollow Golf Club in Charlotte, that is, by the way. They've had a nice week. In Charlotte, rained a lot earlier in the week, but it's been terrific since. It's been very humid, as it always is here, which, you know, again, my hair has dealt with some humidity today, which is a shame.
Are you with us, Matthew, for the All-Star race, or are you separate ways? Are you going your own way, as Fleetwood Mac would say?
Separate ways. Should we play that song? That's a good song. CBS used the instrumental version of that for their Open of NASCAR back in the 80s, especially at Michigan on Father's Day weekend, 1986. Richard Petty made his 1,000th start. I could go on, but I won't.
You have just proved why we call you Mr. Oracle, Mr. Matthew Owens.
Anyway, what was I saying? No, I don't believe I am, but, you know, you can always take the audio if you need it. I know that's a very late night for you guys for a race that does not count towards a championship.
But we did go 3 wide yesterday in the heat race.
Heck, it's a late night for me, and it's, what, going to end at like 10:30 or 11. That's late enough for me, believe me.
And in the wise words of Matt White, you will be in bed by midnight. Hopefully.
I'm
Right.
sorry, but none of you go to say it's a late night when I haven't slept since Thursday.
But sir, that is a choice.
And sir, you have slept because I've taken Formula E sessions so you can sleep.
I give you a thing. I think I did it like 10 minutes. That was it, and I've got to go now to NASCAR. Goodbye.
10 minutes and still sleep.
That sounds like excuses,
So,
Mr. Joshua Birch.
we're not gonna take this at word value from me, but I believe the work being done is actually trying to justify having these cars run for what allocated time is remaining here on track. Is the text we're trying to literally get out a buzzsaw and sort that out. I cannot confirm that entirely right now, as I'm still trying to find out what that technical infringement was actually for. We know why Connor Daly had to go back out and do a run for realsies. That was because his front wing was too low, and tech got him, bring him up on that. But the mystery that Jenna Fryer has placed upon me is still under investigation. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I have an answer.
Thank you, Jackson. Matthew. Hello.
Hello.
Shush.
Elaborate on why the 2 Team Penske cars pulled out of line.
Well, there was a body fit violation on the rear attenuator. So as quick as this process happens, we ran them through tech. We got everybody in line, and then right near the end or prior to qualifying, they decided that they would just pull out of line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So already rung up at tech then, and at that point, I think they just realized no point in sitting around. Sir from Tim Cindric.
What caused the cars to not be able to qualify? Was this a problem that was discovered once you got out to the pit lane?
Yeah, so essentially the 12 car had actually passed inspection, and as the 2 car went through inspection, it was pointed out that basically the officials didn't like what you saw on television there. There was a blending there on the attenuator, and we decided, look, the 12 car, let's go look at that, and the 12 car was the same way. So there was really no reason to run the 12 car knowing that it was like the 2 car, and they didn't like the 2 car. So I in fact went back and looked at the 3 car from this morning, and it didn't have that. So there's a bit of a randomness internally there that we need to sort out, but it's a shame we didn't give our guys a chance to go for it.
So the cars got out to the pit lane. One of them had passed tech. They were both lined up in the pit lane when you discovered it. So you were...
Well, it's my understanding that the 12 car actually went through inspection, and the officials didn't like the 2 car. And when we asked if we could modify that or change that before we ran, it was understood, at least initially, that we might be able to do that. But, you know, when we look back at it, and if I was one of the competitors, I'd have the same argument that you're only allowed to change certain things once you pass inspection, wing angles, tire pressures, and so forth. So that was outside of what you're able to do, you know, once you go through inspection, and you've got to report to inspection on time. So at the end of the day, we didn't do it right.
You mentioned the blend line. Explain what that is.
Well, there's a seam. There's just a seam on the attenuator. So we had filled that seam on evidently some of our attenuators, and others we hadn't. And honestly, I think it's an arbitrary thing. When I look, like I said, I looked at 3 car that crashed today, and it wasn't like those. So once I knew that the 2 car and the 12 car were the same in qualifying line, there was no use to put our cars at risk.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow for practice, and they will be starting all 3 cars after locking out the front row last year. Team Penske will have the 4th row to themselves this year.
Now, if one of the cars had already passed tech, and then they picked it up on the second car, why the actual hell did you confess to it being on the second car and both cars? The main... Literally everyone knows in motorsport and any other things is that if you pass tech inspection, you're clear. You are literally clear. Why did they pull the other one out, the one that passed, when they were already told that
It was because they were making those tweaks after they had gone through tech on the pit lane. So car was legal going through tech, and then on pit lane they were trying to do silly non-legal things to the car. I think that's where Chip saw what was up and probably didn't know specifics, but just knew there was something fishy going on. So you guys can hashtag me on this. Chip be snitching.
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches knock Team Penske out of the front row of the Indy 500, Josh.
Commentators get deafened by JB.
Say what? So, we'll go for the heat race, by the way. Just going to point this out. If anybody finds a body in one of the new, I don't know, builds around it. No.
I know the infield is haunted.
Yeah, but if anybody finds a body in the new wing of the museum in the concrete in about 20 years' time, you probably know it's the whistleblower who did today with Penske. Why did they admit it? Is that what I heard? They admitted that they'd done it with the other cars as well. Is this their first rodeo? Do they not even know how to lie? Get Flabby Briatore on the phone.
Okay.
I'm so annoyed I'm having an Easter egg. Careful.
So, as we begin to turn our attention to the last row shootout, Marco Andretti trying to make his 20th Indianapolis 500 start, trying to break the Andretti curse. The amount of chances that he has to do that himself are very small at this point. Do we think he has what he needs to advance? I think everyone has already kind of put their hands up in the air and said, we know that Jacob Abel is going to be the slowest of these 4, but we have no idea what other factors could happen. Crashes, engine issues, flat tire, loose wheel, all kinds of different things could happen when these cars leave the pits. I don't want us to think that it's a guarantee that Jacob Abel is not going to have the speed.
We have 10 minutes to wait, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You can turn up the volume and hear Danica Patrick interview Colton Hurd if you'd like.
I'm good.
It happens very fast, but just what a heroic effort from the crew to get us back out there, to get a car built from a bare tub to a full race car in under 4 hours. Like I've never seen anything like that, and a car that was capable of going over 230 miles an hour.
How did it feel?
Are we just muting Danica's bits? Nicely done. Nicely done. I like that. We're on orbit, Cam.
Get to steal. But talk about like what you were thinking about before you got back in the car and how you were able to do that so quickly.
I mean, I think I put a lot of trust in my guys and what they're able to do and how fast they're able to put a car together. But also make it safe and make it representable. That was the biggest thing. And with the trust of my guys and my engineering staff, I wasn't too worried. I wasn't worried about going out there and having to go flat. You know, for me, I said it before, this place can be scary. It doesn't scare me, though. You know, I'm fine going into the wall and getting back out. And so the crash was just kind of an afterthought after it happened. And you know, I was just kind of like, we gotta go forward from here, and we got to get this car in the field.
So did you go safely on the downforce for the qualifying run, or are you telling me that you guys out and tried to get aggressive, and how did it feel?
We were a little safe, you know, which is probably the correct way of doing it, just because these cars that were running in qualifying trim are, you know, looked after for 4 months before we go out there, and they're all in the wind tunnel. Every floor, front wing, rear wing, all the body fit is perfect for these race cars. And you just don't get that on the second car. They don't have the time. Like I said, 4 hours to get that car ready. It was not perfect, nor did I expect it to be, but it was good enough to go 230 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think the only thing, right, that transferred really was the engine. So what kind of adjustments were there for you? Obviously, you did well enough to make it, and this will be your car when it matters a week from today.
I think that's like the greatest thing about this place is the mystery and how hard it is to get a car perfect around here. And no car is the same. You see that across the board with all teams. So it is, in some aspect, it's an educated guess when you get a brand new car like that as to what you can expect, what downforce level to run, and where you feel the balance might end up.
This is your 7th Daytona 500. Your experience
Indy 500.
Indy 500, sorry. I've covered the Daytona 500 on Fox, so we're honored to have both. But the Indy 500 for you, what is your experience in the past? What will you carry from that into this race?
It's unlike anything, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun seeing it next Sunday. You know, it is the toughest race that I've ever done. It is the hardest race to get correct in every aspect. And it's a true test for 500 miles. I love this race so much. I love the hardships of it yesterday. Like, we're qualifying 29th, and I was happy to qualify 29th. And I don't think I'll say that anywhere else in the world at any other race. So that just shows what a true test it is and how hard this race is.
You'll undoubtedly have a handful on race day, as everyone does, especially starting further back in the pack. Been there before. It's very turbulent back there. But I'm going to get back to qualifying, since that's what we're going to see. We're going to see, obviously, the last row and then the top 6. I'd love for you to explain a little bit about your feeling about the steering wheel. I feel like there's been drivers explaining it, talking about how overwhelming, like there's a lot of buttons. Is there too much? Is there too much to do, especially in qualifying? Like, lead me through a lap of how that goes for you and how much time you actually spend with 10 fingers holding onto the steering wheel versus on buttons.
I think if you want to be the best drivers in the world, you should be capable of doing a lot more than just driving the race car. And that is a hard thing to do here. But, you know, as far as deployment, changing front rear bar, changing the weight jacker, you should be able and be capable of doing at least that, if not more. So I think it's an added pressure onto the drivers. It's even though it doesn't look like much from the outside of the car, it's easy to forget things and not remember exactly where everything should go, when you should be doing everything. So I think it opens it up to make the drivers more prone to mistakes, and I think that's probably what the viewers will like about it. It's harder to get everything right, and in my eyes, this is the hardest race in the world, so it should be hard to get everything right.
Looking forward to the race and having 4 hours of practice now to dial things in. In your experience here, what are you going to be looking for the key elements that are going to help you be good on Sunday?
Well, we've got a lot to go over. We've got a car that has never run in race trim before that we have to get through in 4 hours of running, which is not a lot around here. So we'll be looking at the car overnight, looking at where our downforce levels were for qualifying, and how that's going to compare when we get the car in race trim. But this Gamebridge Honda crew is speedy, and we've made really good race cars before, and I know we can do it again. So I'm not too worried about it.
All right.
I love your confidence.
All right.
Yeah, well, let's get out of there quick before, Danica Patrick starts to induct him into some sort of lizard organization or something.
Do things quick, gentlemen.
Go for it.
So, just to confirm, that penalty was for illegal modification of the rear attenuator to try and smooth those out. And real quick, as we're seeing these amazing-looking machines, despite their last row pace, work their way out to pit row. One of those being, obviously, the 66 of Marcus Armstrong, which was, after its crash yesterday morning, was reverted to kind of doing this Franken-car layout. And graphics specialist and fueler on the 06, Kevin Wilmer, essentially pulled an all-nighter yesterday trying to get the 66 back to its original colors and get it back to its Spectrum livery. So some phenomenal jobs there. I'm hearing there's some strong pull in the Meyer Shank garage to try and get that man some beer and some soft pretzels. I'll keep you guys posted.
Soft pretzels?
As opposed to, oh wait, yeah, you're British. Never mind.
Yeah, we have hard ones.
Jackson, yesterday we spent 2 hours talking about mushy peas.
Oh God, we're good. We're good. I'm not gonna open this. We're good.
Yeah.
No, I want to open it one more time by
Jackson.
saying, when I come there next year, JB, when I come to Great Britain, not England, of course, when I come to Great Britain next year, and I come into that comms box, I will be more than happy to stand shoulder to shoulder to you and call a motor race. It will be one of the great honors of my life. But if you serve me mushy peas, I will leave.
It will be public execution.
Jackson Lambros, we spent 4 hours yesterday talking about cashiers and self-checkouts.
Okay, and that's another one, too.
Ooh.
If there is self-checkouts over there, I will lose my mind.
There are, but there are.
Dude, it's just so. I'll throw my hat in the ring. It's just so dependent on how many items I have. If I'm into double digits for what I've got in the cart, self-checkout.
Unexpected item in the bagging area.
If it's a lot, I'm not holding up other people because I'm incompetent and can't open the bags on the rack, and I've got to have 9-inch long fingernails just to open that John up,
right,
and cram that in there. I'm gonna leave that to them, dude.
Right. Again,
unexpected commentator in the commentary box.
It's a context-based scenario, right?
Once again, I would like to say, my first job. I have never had a job where I've been a cashier or a bagger. I've never been trained to be one. I have never been paid to be one. The people that are being paid to be one should be doing that, not I, because I'm not a professional at it. I'm also not good at it. To your point, I will go with 7 items, and that will take me 22 minutes, and I will hold everyone up, and it will sound the siren 16 times, as if I'm trying to steal this $2 pack of gum.
It costs 89p.
Here's your last chance qualifiers, just to remind everybody at home. Marco Andretti, rare to see him struggle so much. Renus BK, who's been in this hole before, his Delcoin teammate Jacob Abel will try to qualify for his first Indy 500 as well. And Marcus Armstrong, obviously, as we were talking about, recovering from that major crash yesterday morning, and gets that Franken car now once whole again into the field. So predictions early on, guys. Who do we think's going home?
Me.
All right.
I mean, everybody is saying that Jacob Abel is just not ready. The team doesn't have the speed. I don't think it's always that simple, and we're about to hear from him.
Place though, we lost a little bit of speed overnight on Friday night. We felt pretty good all week long. So, yeah, you never know. It's not over till it's over, and we're going to go out, try and do 4 good laps, and see what happens. We're not going down easy, that's for sure.
What are your emotions right now? You seem really calm.
Try to be, right? You prepare your whole life for moments like this. So, yeah, just know that I'm going to go out there and do what I know how to do, and yeah, that's all we can do.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Renus VK prepares to fight his way into the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. Did you feel strong enough in the practice session earlier to make that fight?
I did at the end. We started out really out of the window, so that was hard. That was stressful, but we got the car back and into a place where I can be flat for 4 laps. I think we've got the pace. It's just been a bit of a roller coaster. Actually, my fast Friday 4-lap average would have put me in the field, and we've never been able to match that, unfortunately.
This is not an easy situation. How do you manage to stay cool, calm, and collected?
And still, I have the same job, and what I have to do is hit my marks, and if the car has the speed, it has the speed. If it doesn't, unfortunately, as long as I do everything I can, that's all I can do. But I am confident we will make it in.
Thanks, Renus.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Renus VK, Jacob Abel, Marcus Armstrong, and Marco Andretti, each running to make the 109th running of the 500.
Right, that one got to me a little bit because, yeah, they're going to run in the last chance qualifier, but this is bump day. Anything can happen next.
Yeah, right. I think we should never assume anything, not here. And you had two guys in VK and Marco that just could not find speed yesterday. Consistent speed. Jacob Abel and his team couldn't find any speed. And then, of course, Armstrong dealing with crashing, having to get released from concussion protocol, then try to get a road course car up to speed, and that hasn't happened either. So we'll find out. By the way, the last thing I'll say about this, and then I'll shut up, because for some reason we're still waiting. We are past 15 past the hour, and we're still waiting. I'm sure that's Fox's fault. Do not walk through a lobby, a grocery store, an airport, a public place,
with a gun.
And God help you, a restaurant, talking on speakerphone. I will lose my ever-loving mind.
See, I have to, because my speaker on the phone is broken, so I have to go like that, because I'm a bit deaf, but I do turn it down, so it's just like normal.
JB.
I need a new phone.
Josh, have you seen these newfangled things? even I, the very old person, is able to pick this up and place it in my ear.
Yes, and we do use them, but I've seen that episode of Doctor Who, and I don't really fancy my head being ripped open by Cybermen.
I mean, I know I was born in the 1900s and all, but even I know how to use those.
I am with you, my friend. I think we're the oldest people on the broadcast.
No, and yes, and every time JT gets a chance to tell me about it, he does.
Oh, I feel... to be honest with you, mate, I literally looked in the mirror earlier on and felt saggy. I felt like, what the hell's happened to me? No sleep over 3 days, and I turned to Casper.
Well, Matthew, as me and Omi know, JB commentated on races in the 1960s.
Yeah. Right, no.
Also, can we go back to chat for a moment?
Yeah, because it's going mad. I love, by the way, I love
Jen.
Jen's, yeah.
This is like a Walmart version of a Top Gear bit. Tonight, Matthew steals some gum. Jackson becomes a bagger. And JB speaks on speakerphone.
Power! I mean, you can play Jessica if you like. But... Oh, I love Top Gear. Am I going to measure the rosé? Just going to leave that outside.
Oh, wait. Tonight, Matthew steals some gum. Jackson becomes a bagger. JB gets drunk on rosé. And there's an unexpected item in the bagging area. Hello, Omi.
To be honest, right, let's have a look at some of the crashes we've had so far this week, because it's even when they're not pushing that we're having accidents that are huge. Right. And this is what I'm worried about. We've seen cars flipping over. We've had 3 flips and 5 big crashes already.
And I think we gotta do the obligatory question of how much the hybrid system has affected that. As some guys had to make some mental changes to kind of get used to having that extra 120 pounds on the gearbox. But it is time for these 4 men to put the money where their mouths are as we get underway for last chance qualifying. Marcus Armstrong in this completely rebuilt, adapted road course car meant for Detroit in a few weeks' time is on track back in Spectrum colors.
Here we
JB,
go.
just quickly.
Yes.
The poll in the YouTube chat will end as the green flag drops for run 1, so get your votes in quickly.
And that is who's going to get bumped and going home. Marco Andretti, Venus VK, Marcus Armstrong, Jacob Abel. 67% of you say Jacob Abel will be bumped. Are you ready? Are you steady? Let's go bumping. The warm-up lap begins for Marcus Armstrong.
Just a reminder, this is a full hour session. These drivers can make as many runs as they want. It is not like the Fast 12 that we just saw, or what the Fast 6 will be later, where it's just one run. These guys have an hour to run as many times as they want or need.
Technically, by the way, as Roach says about rosé, it's technically champagne, but with a rosé tinge. So yeah, it's still champers. Gotta go special. It's my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. I'm sat in a commentary box instead of watching Ben Knobs and Broomsticks. I think I've made the right choice. Green flag! We go bumping at the Brickyard.
Christchurch, New Zealand's Marcus Armstrong into turn number 1 through a very occupied turn 1. Grandstands watching on to see who will go big and who will go home. Completely flat out of turn number 2 as he sets his sights down the backstretch for 3 and 4.
This is looking good, and he used 4% of hybrid so far, Matthew, but the car has looked on rails. Since it's been rebuilt, it's a miracle that it can actually go this fast.
Rounding the northwest corner and sweeping back onto the main straightaway is Marcus Armstrong. And as he screams across the yard of bricks, lap 1 is on the board for Marcus.
2:29.
What is it?
Yeah, 2:29.397 is his first lap time. That is not good enough, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Not good enough.
Again, first time in over 24 hours that he's even gone flat out here. We'll run completely flat heading into 3 and 4, but has still not been on the button a little bit. I think this is still a little bit of a recon, a little bit of an intel run here for Marcus Armstrong as they are trying to get the things sorted on this new 66 tub, but still runs it wide open. You can only imagine that this thing is full downforce as it heads out to the end of the first short shoot here, Matt Owens.
2:29.403 was lap 2, so lap 2 is faster than lap 1 by 6/1000ths of a mile per hour as he heads towards turn number 3. Armstrong, who coming into this race has a couple of top 10 finishes this season, 7th at Thermal and at the Indy GP. Meyershank Racing, Honda comes back to the yard of bricks. Josh, white flag is out.
So 2:28.744 on that next run around. So this is not going to be the speed that we were all expecting, I'm afraid. Let's just hope it stays strong for the last run total.
A little bit of a twinge there in between turns 1 and 2, but gathers it back up. Again, has not been on the hybrid pole at all this run, so you can certainly expect that there's still a little bit more in this chassis that Meyershank Racing and Marcus Armstrong is trying to find. Back out onto the main straightaway. Checkered flag from Aaron Likens as we are about to watch our first run to the bricks.
And it's a 2:28.823, averages out 2:29.091. Definitely, we've got another run in the bank there. So, 1 down, 4 more to go. Not like the old bump days of years gone by, is it? Where we used to run, I remember 9 cars going through at one point.
And again, you can add in a lot of different factors to that, but you remember we had a very long stretch of time there in between, in the start of the DW12 era where we didn't even have bumping at all.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've gotten back to this point in time is absolutely, I think, something we can be proud of as a series. Again, 1 hour for everybody, but I would not be surprised to see a lot of guys play it relatively safe and not go back out for seconds towards the tail end here. As, again, hot car usually almost always means slower laps. And of course, you don't want to risk putting it in the wall and ending your chances altogether.
Another reminder here is that we do have the lanes in operation. Everybody gets 1 official timed run, then we get the lanes out and we go through that procedure again. If you want to delete your time, you go through lane 1 and run the risk of not qualifying at all. If you want to have another run but keep your original time, you go through lane 2. It's only if you make dramatic errors do you go and choose lane 1.
Yeah, and of course, if you're sitting 34th, there's no reason to not go into lane 1 as well. Meyershank right now has a car in the last row shootout, has a car that was just fastest in the top 12, and has a car starting 24th in Helio Castroneves on Sunday. So full range of emotions being felt by the Meyershank Racing team.
They're going to be scratching their heads come Monday, though. It's like, well, how do we set up for a race here? That Monday used to never happen, that test. It's got added in because we've lost time from the main week. So we get a little bit of that back for the Monday session. Just 2 hours in length, and then carb day comes around. And we go again. Apparently during the run, the track temp dropped. Sorry, the track temp dropped by a degree on that last run. Here we go for Andretti. What have you got, Oracle?
Yeah, Marco Andretti searching to make his 20th Indianapolis 500 start. Impossible to think that it's been nearly 2 decades since he came as a teenager and was second by the smallest of margins to Sam Hornish Jr. in 2006. Since then, he's never been so close, that close, to winning this race. On the pole in 2020, he started on the front row here twice. He was third in 2013. He has the green flag. Marco Andretti, the grandson, of course, of the godfather of motorsports, is on the clock.
So, we are getting information that the Penske seem to be happy with what's going on. As they come through, this is a lot of speed up, and he's used 6% of his hybrid power on the backstretch. Is lap 2 going to be a better... Well, is lap 2 going to be better than lap 1? Because lap 1 got messy, Jackson. It's not looking as nailed in as we've seen Marco do in previous runs. Over the line, 229.968. So he's faster than the average time to Armstrong, but we know that the cars ahead are quicker.
And I think a lot of this, Josh, is just frustration because these guys find speed and lose speed. And I think for a lot of this, they don't necessarily know the reasons why. We do know that the most minute things can cause, gains and losses of speed. We'll see guys run quali with next to no tear-offs, making sure that the vinyl wrapping is completely flush with the body panels and everything is aligned perfectly. But Marco's still trying to find that little bit of extra luck, a little bit of extra pace here as he ends lap number 2.
229.775, that second time by. It's averaging out still at 229.8 now. Just a fraction off the pace as Andretti heads down the backstretch towards turn 3.
This is far from a trimmed out setup here, Jackson, because he is not using much of the racetrack at all. Out of every one of the 4 corners, he is nowhere close to the wall. He is multiple feet off the wall on the exit of all 4 of these corners, so he's not struggling handling-wise so far.
But a similar approach to how how Marcus Armstrong was running as lap 3 is a 229.578. 3-lap average 229.774. So a carbon opposite here, I should say, of Graham Rahal, who was lifting all 4 corners during qualifying yesterday, but clearly running loose. Andretti and Armstrong clearly running very loaded up on downforce, Josh.
Just keeping an eye out through 3 and 4. This will be his last run up. Takes it well away from the wall this time. His run yesterday almost put him into the wall for the 98 car. Out of 4, and Likens waves the checkered flag. The lap time takes it at 229.645. He's in at the moment, 229.741. Matthew, would you go again? It's not even 230.
No, I would not until I'm forced to, because he is, that's 3/4 of a mile an hour faster on average than Armstrong. So, no, I think you let everyone come at you with sling those arrows over and over and see if you can knock me off. But so far, I think that's a good speed for the 98 team, at least in comparison of who they have to beat here. If he does make the 500, Marco, it'll be his worst ever starting spot in his 500 career. He has not started any lower than 27th, which he did in 2011. Climbed up the field quite well that day, on that crazy day in 2011, from 27th to 9th. As we get ready for Jacob Abel, the driver from Louisville, Kentucky, with a throwback livery, of course, throwing it back to another driver from Louisville, Kentucky, Daniel John Sullivan III, spin and win, 40 years old this year.
And the state of Kentucky is that connection, as the Louisville-born driver Jacob Abel will try to qualify this Miller High Life car back on to the 500. Again, the defending runner-up in Indy Next. not exactly where he's wanted to be on pace this entire weekend. There was an air of confidence from this team, though, going into the qualifying weekend, feeling like after Fast Friday, they found out what the missing piece was. And for both him and Renus, the answer is, well, it's still out there. Marcus Armstrong looking out with a little bit of anxiety. Helio still cool as a cucumber, although I think the genuine verdict is for them to go back out. Is Joseph Newgarden just running laps right now at the 500?
Wow.
You bet he is.
Okay.
Get him in, babe. Yeah.
Wow. There is a term that my people use, and by my people I mean big people. Only the wicked run when no one is chasing.
That is, I guess, the nice thing about the 500 or having a race at IMS. You actually have real estate to just go and do that. Usually for weekends, you'll have a lot of drivers and crew actually spending that time during the track walk. That 45 or hour window to go and run out on track. Joe obviously not doing that out on track, but when you've got a infield big enough to host Yankee Stadium, the Roman Coliseum, about 19 times, you've got enough area to go run laps. And Jacob Abel running a very different kind of lap right now with a lot of different things on the line here. Will finish his warm-up lap.
Of course, I would like, we know Tom Brady's going to be here on Sunday. I would like Tom and Joseph to be standing side by side. Maybe we'll get a comment about Joseph's jawline from Tom there. Jacob Abel, as Jackson just mentioned, runner-up in Indy Next last year, won 3 races, including one here at the IMS Road Course last year. But yeah, it's been a struggle so far in his rookie season in IndyCar. All 5 races this year, he has finished outside of the top 20. In fact, his best finish this year was a 23rd in the season opener in St. Petersburg. Jacob Abel is going to need a heroic run here over these next 4 laps, Josh, to qualify his way into this 109th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Charming guy, away we go. Can he go through? The YouTube chat seem to think that Jacob Abel is the one that is going home. Takes a very low line through turn 2. Down the back stretch, he's used 6% of his hybrid power. 6th gear, flat out as he comes into turn 3. Watch, he'll drop down into 5th mid-corner. There we go, out of 3. Picks it back up. He'll stay in 5th all the way to the exit of 4, then slam it down at the exit. Right up to the line. What's the first lap time? It's down. 2:27.485. Okay, does not look like it's not gonna. It's too much. It's too off the pace. I'm gonna say Abel should give up and go again.
I think just to have a safe run on the board and get intel, I still think he should at least finish this out until lap number 2. We'll see if there's still pace to find. He's not even cracking into the 230s. He just barely does, but keeps it pinned. But a little bit of a twitch gathers it back up. But a little bit of a Code Brown moment here for Jacob Abel, heading back out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 2.
That's a really strange one, Matthew.
He does have to finish this run in case VK runs into an issue later. He'll at least be ahead of VK. But yeah, this is obvious. Even with the twitch, he didn't drop off that much, just 0.2 miles an hour. But there's just no top-end speed in this car for the driver that graduated from Butler University. Not too far away, of course, from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Heads towards turn number 3 here. He'll be looking at a white flag here in a matter of seconds.
The objective for Jacob Abel when moving from his family-ran Abel Motorsports program over to Dale Coyne, not too much of a hike from Indy over to Chicago, was to make it feel like home, to make it feel like family. I talked to him at Long Beach. He said the progress felt good. All we got to do is figure out where we can find pace as his new family is watching him into turn number 2.
Here we go once more, picking up the speed. The last lap time, 2:26.986 on the 3rd lap. Average is down, it's putting him last overall. This is now, as both everyone's saying in the chat and saying yourself, Matthew, this is just a data run. It's slightly using more hybrid through turn 3 and 4, just to make sure it doesn't twitch this time. Up to the line, takes the checkered flag, and this the slowest time of the day so far for him. 2:27.112, Matthew, as he comes across the line. He might be going home.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the top-end speed is not there, but again, Rinus VeeKay, who has an incredible qualifying record here in his career, if we all think that Rinus is going to really hang it out, remember, he crashed on day one of time trials here last year. Obviously, no one at that 51 team is hoping that Rinus VeeKay crashes, but if Rinus has an issue, Abel is at least set a time to make it in. Let's go downstairs and hear from Marco.
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm not cocky, just trying to stay cool. I know Indianapolis, I was joking, but I'm like waiting for them to do 234s or something and rush back in the car. But now a solid run for the guys. I mean, we're really maximizing kind of what we're dealt here. And who knows, maybe this will be the one we win.
Thank you, Marco.
Apparently, they are sending a crew out to interrupt Joseph Newgarden's run to ask him some questions.
No way.
Yeah.
Flo cannot have peace here as we hear the 18 fire up and leave pit lane. Matt talking about the qualifying record that Rinus VeeKay has had here and the comeback drive that he had to have qualifying weekend as well. Very similar kind of return to the front that Colton Herta and others have had, not just to rebuild that car, but to get it into the Fast 12 last year. He's got a little bit of a bigger hole to dig himself out of this time by.
Yeah, I mean, his record has just been ridiculous. Average starting position in 5 prior Indy 500 starts, 3.8, with starting positions of 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 7th. So 3 times on the front row. First 2 rows in 4 of his 5 starts. Very strange to see him not up to speed here so far this weekend.
Happy 1-year anniversary to the Stenhouse-Busch Jr. fight, by the way, or not Stenhouse Jr. I'm having a stroke. Stenhouse-Busch fight for all who celebrate. VeeKay out of the back straightaway here. Seems to look confident into turn number 3 as he runs it flat, it appears. I've got my telemetry up. And just a little bit of a lift, actually, into turn 4 as he will see the green flag now.
Steering angle as well coming through over the line for Rinus VeeKay at 231, 232 mile an hour as he comes in, 233 to the first corner. Hello, look at the hybrid. That's true, 19%. Well, what the hell's happened to VeeKay to use all his hybrid? That lift, Jackson, that you spotted, he deployed all the hybrid then. This is an abandoned run, effectively.
So maybe getting a little too ambitious here, but he gets into the 30s here towards turn 3 way earlier than Abel. That's showing a lot of more positive signs here, but look at how quickly that bleeds out, as low as 225 here out of turn number 4. So a lot of plow on that 18 to finish lap number 1, Josh.
228.352. It puts him 33rd, but yeah, that is... it's going to be close between him and Abel, isn't it?
I mean, I thought all he would need would be a clean 4 laps and he could be easily faster than Abel, and maybe that's the case, but that's not very good to see him down that low into the 228s to start. And I wonder if there's an issue with this hybrid system or if it's just a graphic issue.
I think it's probably an issue with the graphic system. There is something to be said about the hybrids being a factor in this as well,
That's
because
right.
again, that runs through the gearbox, and through the drive. It's not an addition. It's a part of the system now. It's integrated into how the power is delivered. So maybe some of these, I don't want to totally get on my tinfoil helmet here, but some of these hybrids are adjusted, set up to maybe have a little bit more drag, take away a little bit more power than others have been built, have been spec'd out as spec as it is. It could be just a different level of how it's currently being, integrated into different chassis. White flag for VeeKay.
227, 632, his 3rd lap average. Dear me, this is
slow. He's doing the bare minimum right now to be faster than Abel. Got 2 more corners to go. incredible. I didn't think this car and this driver would be this slow, but again, 2 clean corners here. He'll be clear of Abel. He'll be at least in position to go through. He'd be on the bubble, and it'll all be up to the 51 team to get that car ready, make some adjustments to it, and get it ready to go out again. He's going to complete this run, VK is, Josh, with north of 37 minutes on the clock.
2:27.740, and that is it. We've had all 4 do their scheduled lap times, and it stands as Andretti, Armstrong, VK are through, and Abel is bumped. Now, here we go again. The month of May might just get a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more heartbreak. Waiting game comes now.
There's just no race in the world and no racetrack in the world where you fight this hard and leave it all on the line to be 33rd.
Right, to Jay, I'll hand over the audio to JT. I'm going to pop in for a second because I need to get a tissue.
JB, he is so committed to his commentator position, where he disappears out of absolutely nowhere. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Jacob Abel has no time on the board.
No time necessary when you're 34th. I don't have to withdraw the time to go out there because you don't need it anyway if you're 34th. So, by the way, I just want to mention again, I know I'm the old curmudgeon, but I like 4 days of qualifying around here. I would like very much for us to come for a pole day on Saturday to fill in the first 9 positions. Then on Sunday, we come back to fill positions. You could just give me numbers here. 10 to 20, 10 to 24.
You're the mayor of Indianapolis. You can make that happen, Matthew
okay,
Owens.
very good, yes. And then have another weekend to fill out the rest of the grid. But I would want this last row shootout, or whatever we're going to call it, to be more than 4 drivers. I would rather, and of course, if it's more than 4, you can't really call it the last row shootout now, can you? But I would rather this to be about 6 or 9 drivers strong here. The more drama we can build.
I think maybe we have a fixed number then. I was saying it should be 6 cars, I think, regardless of, like, the minimum should be 6. So it's, technically the last 2 rows, I suppose. Or the in row and the out row, shall we say. But I think I like the move that Doug Bowles chose, because I think he will be the first to admit that it was controversial at first to move this to a 2-day format. And obviously some people were hard to accept and enjoy it, naturally, because change is hard. But I genuinely have enjoyed this new format, and I feel like with the storylines it's generated over the past 48 hours, this has done a very, very good job of tailoring to it.
And I believe we have just gone like actual yellow for track inspection, as I did see a yellow flag from the flag stand. Right, it's time for quick one-word answer. Yes or no? Did VK go slow on purpose because he didn't want to accidentally make a mistake? Did he just want to get past Omi? One word, yes or no?
Yes.
Matthew?
Absolutely.
That's more than one word. Jackson?
Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Because, again, when the limbo pole is put where it was from Jacob Abel, just a clean run would have cleared that time, and it did. So, yeah, there was no reason to go crazy risky on it.
Every word you say, every breath you take, there's a song title in there, you are going above your one-word limit. Mr. Goddamn Awful says yes. Let's scroll down. Scroll up.
I would not be in this industry, by the way, if I was limited to one-word answers.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh,
Guys, Joseph again. We got a wave and a thumbs up. Yeah, baby.
Here comes
We
Joseph
found him.
Garden.
Tap on him, baby. Oh, yeah.
Yes, there goes Joseph down the back straightaway. Low downforce package on the human body right there.
Don't tell me they zoomed in on these.
Low downforce package on the human body is one of the most insane lines I've ever heard, and I love it.
Now again, as we know, I put my body on a bicycle. There's extra downforce on the bicycle.
Oh my god.
Yes, Josh Taylor.
One word answer. Yes or no. And I cannot mute you because it doesn't matter if I mute you, you will still go to the broadcast. So you could do more than one, but then every 247 plus people watching us will call you out for saying more than one word. Yes or no, did VK go slow on purpose just to get through? That's not a word. Still not a word.
While you were gone, he called absolutely 2 words, so he doesn't know.
I think it was before.
While you were gone, you said absolutely, then you followed it up, so I muted you.
I would.
Yes, that's more than one word.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh dear.
You can't say it backwards, which is docialiexpressfragicalirupus, but that's going a bit too far, don't you think?
You just went way too far just then.
Yeah, but no, don't you think like saying it backwards, which is docialiexpress? Well, docialiex. I can't do it twice now.
What? Aye.
Docialiexpressfragicalirupus. There you go. Do it twice. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards is docialiexpressfragicalirupus.
Well, thank God I know that now. My God.
Is this an FIA broadcast?
Why? I didn't swear. I was trying to say fragicalirupus.
Oh, dear.
Omi, executive decision
I've got
is
the
at
holy-
$10,000.
I've got the holy water just to make sure that the FIA president stays away from me. The power of Bernie compels you. The power of Bernie compels you.
Omi, executive decision, yes or no? Is it $10,000?
Malteser truffle?
Okay, yes.
That was. I didn't say anything. Don't get me started. Mr. JT has been making. Right, these are the alternators. And that's what they're supposed to look like. And Penske added a little extra wire. So they've bypassed the alternator. Naughty. Well, you're still happy. Come on, guys.
Oh, there we go. There's okay. A new poll question.
Okay.
I didn't.
Right.
Don't you say the express fragicalirupus? It's hard to say the fragicalirupus without saying something else.
See, I like how when a cop pulls you over for suspected drunk driving and he asks you to say the alphabet backwards. Well, I couldn't say it backwards sober.
Yeah, but you start with Z, so it's wrong anyway.
Okay.
Cheers. We're going there tonight. It's only cheating if you get caught. Oh, it's only motorsports. It's only cheating if you get caught. I was going to say, I was about to have a very interesting discussion about relationships then.
Oh, God, no.
Talking from experience, it doesn't help. It is not. Talking from experience, it is cheating if you know or don't know.
Okay.
You know the ZZ kind of thing?
Sure.
How do you say the word Z-O-O?
We say that over here as zoo.
Okay, good.
Z-Y. No, nobody gets that joke.
The things that happen on this day every year, once all the cars complete their first run in the last row shootout, and then we're waiting, and the things that we say, every year this happens.
Why do you think I brought the rosé in?
This is a whole new... This could be a whole episode of USR and Out of Context.
Matthew, I want everyone to know that I was stranded on top of a hill today and I got sunburned.
I told you life was a scarecrow. It wasn't going to work.
Then again, let me send you one of the photos that I took, Matthew. Hold on. You will be impressed.
We'll be here all day.
Look at that for a photo, Mr. Matthew Owens.
Ah, very good. Ah, very nicely done. Look at you go.
That was complete luck, by the way.
Well, as every picture is.
It's so bad that I've... Oh, by the way, I've just started Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The first season.
By the way, there's a last chance qualifying session going on at the moment.
Well, the only thing going on is the clock.
Clock
Mario
or...
talking to grandson Marco right now, but...
See, Jackson's not afraid to eat on air, JT.
Oh, no. Don't start this again. No. I am not eating while a camera watches me. No, not happening.
What, 3,640?
See, here's the thing. I don't eat during broadcast to begin with. I don't want things stuck in my teeth, stuck in my throat. No, don't. I don't eat on broadcast anyway. When we did the Rolex 24, Josh, I did not eat.
I'm more really happy about the fact that Joseph Newgarden waved, thumbs up, shrugged, and then dabbed on him while running on national television on Big Fox. That's awesome. That's not lost media. That is Maine just entirely there for the people.
So, Matthew.
Yes?
You didn't eat for 24 hours live on air?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Because you might recall that I did 21 hours of that race. Now, I know I'm no you. No one's no you. But that was beyond my...
Hang on a minute. When we did the Rolex... When we did the Rolex, you're on radio. You can eat and get away with it. It's when we're on camera.
No, I don't want it stuck in my teeth. No,
but who's going to see on radio?
So we did not unfortunately get this recorded because we're on with the Fox folks right now. But in IndyCar Radio first, as reported from Nick Yeoman, Jay Query just interviewed Joseph Newgarden, who was jogging down the backstretch and subsequently ran the turn 3 stairs and climbed into the broadcast perch to watch with Jake. So not only was that a successful interview, Uncle Jake is now just chilling with Joseph Newgarden, which that's the most. If you listen to IndyCar Radio, you know the kind of dude that Jay Query is, and this is so insanely par for the course. So this is brilliant stuff.
If I was there, right now, I'd be just spraying the drivers with a water pistol. Like, do something. Go.
Throw this question in chat, JT. Is Jacob able?
Oh, for God's sake. That's cap. That's cap. I'm sorry.
You...
As long as it's not Kane enable.
You guys suck. Oh my god. I started this, so I will gladly take the return fire.
By the way, 58 people says that JB did swear when he was trying to say long word backwards.
I didn't.
I like it.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, he did.
Should we make it around 10,000?
Now here, Fox is promoting a sit-down interview on Sunday that, what's her name, did with Joseph Newgarden. I've now blanked on the name, for heaven's sakes. Erin Andrews.
Oh, it's not Danica Patrick,
Erin
is it?
Andrews with Joseph Newgarden. Whose joke was better? Well, it wasn't mine. That's kind of the point of my jokes, is that they're not good. I'll be on tour later this year. I'll be at Chuckle Huts for the rest of the week. Please tip your waiters and waitresses well.
Tip them over when they're going past you with all the food, is what he's meaning. Just stick your leg out.
Guys, guess what? Good news! The Dacia's had Jacob Abel is headed down towards the lanes.
A lot of people kind of forget that Dacia, by the way, does do racing now, as they have competed in the Dakar Rally.
And does other cars than the Sandero.
They do cars other than the Sandero. We obviously don't get them in the U.S. Someone did find a
We don't get them in the
Skoda
UK either.
in Vermont a couple weeks ago, and that broke the internet, at least my part of the internet, for a while. So
Your part of the internet just is a Dacia Sandero.
JP, did you just say that we don't have Dacia Sanderos in the UK?
We didn't for ages. For about 2 years, we didn't have one.
I believe that was a whole point of discussion of why James May was so disheartened and had to share it with the Commonwealth.
Yes.
That it wasn't being sold in the UK.
Joshua Smith, LCQ has not
sorry, Georgia.
Left to go. But does this hour just feel like an eternity? The fact that you set the pace so early.
In a way, yes. But every minute that we wait, the track temp comes down, the air temperature comes down. So these guys can afford to take more risk with their trim level for sure. So, I mean, I'm definitely not safe by any means. So I'm ready. Got my helmet there, ready to go if I need it, and yeah, we can do something with the trim level if we need to.
Sitting pretty right now, but everything is ready, guys.
Sitting pretty. He's not sitting, but I'll give you the pretty. Right. Oh, we've lost Oracle. Car moving! What is happening here? Where is Oracle?
Jacob Abel is going to try and bump his Dale Coyne Racing teammate, Rinus VK, out of the 500. And in a perfect world, he has the pace to reach Armstrong and Andretti. But you can see the split right now between the Coynes and the other two, because they haven't even cracked into the 229s yet, into the 228s. So a clear disadvantage here, as the Coynes are clearly missing something really big here. I don't know if they've still figured that out.
I'm sorry, but the best joke I've seen goes to Neil Wooding, who's the Sky IndyCar producer, who's tweeted, "Could be a flip of a coin who goes home and who goes through." So I think he wins.
We'll take it.
The Dacia Sandero is now on sale in the UK. In left-hand drive market, JT.
Oh no! Anyways, Jacob Abel's on his warm-up lap heading in towards turn 2.
And this close to leaving him for the All-Star race. This close.
I am this close to not turning up to the All-Star race because I'm meant to be up at 7 AM on Monday morning.
To be honest with you, I don't care. He's backed off. He's coming into the pit lane.
This just sucks because this is the part of Bump Day where the drama is awesome. He's already back into the pit lane. And I'm not sure if that was just an install lap on any changes made or if they already weren't liking what they were seeing on pace.
He's very slow, though, isn't he? He's trying not to overheat the car at all, so we can go for another run properly. It's slowed down. Iona Sandero. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful cars, Dacia's. Kia's too.
There's a lot of guys I really, really like in here. And I think a lot of fans really, really enjoy. Jacob Abel is just a hard driver and human being to hate. Rinus VK has been a fan favorite in and out of the 500 for the past couple of years. Marcus Armstrong has international prestige and heritage to him and has done awesome thus far with Shank. And then it's hard to find someone in motorsports who doesn't know the last name Andretti. So big names here.
Andretti who?
Okay.
He doesn't get to say Andretti who and then not get the disconnect. He doesn't get that. He doesn't get that. I don't care. He doesn't get it. Sorry. Ask the crew. You've started an Ask the Crew. Dear God. So, Daisy ran the jogger in the Andros Trophy for champion Alain Prost. Andros Trophy. So, where is Oracle? Into the pit lane.
He's walking 500 miles and 500 more to your commentary box right now.
I'm hiding the microphones. So, question of the hour is Jacob able to go in, do a better lap time, kick out his own teammate, and then have to face his teammate, whereas VK is a year-round runner? This is
nice question.
It's a somber one, isn't it? I see that it's just gone completely dead at the moment in here. So this is standard, actually. Coming into this round of the championship, unfortunately. We'll just hold on a minute. Your coverage brought to you today by a group of people who have nothing better to do.
A group of maniacs.
Yeah. Maniac. Maniac. What's that old saying? Ambitious but rubbish? Kind of sums up our broadcast.
This broadcast is as stable as Clarkson's Reliant Robin.
Yeah. But is anyone going to flip like Richard Hammond?
Okay, calm down.
I don't want to go upside down.
I hate that they play fake car noise.
Yeah.
They even did it when they were on pit road interviews.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Update on the Joseph Newgarden side quest here.
Yeah.
In his time with Jay Query, Jake asked him who he likes for pole now that he's no longer in the conversation. Joseph thinks Schwarzman's going to do it. Quote, if he can keep it flat.
Do you see Will Power was in the garage down at Prema offering advice? Yeah.
Yes, which is awesome. Should also mention we've got some of the Indiana Fever players for Indy's WNBA squad here for qualifying weekend.
Look at this, they're all getting ready to go out now for the Firestone Fast 6.
Starting to peel out of Gasoline Alley, such a cool sight.
I'm going to end the Q&A because I don't think it's working on the YouTube studio side. So if you said anything in the Q&A, we can't see it because YouTube's broken.
Oh, perfect. It's time to play this little feature then that we all like. Where is it? I don't get to do it this much. It's broken! There we go.
Also,
it's all completely hopeless.
We need a soundboard that's like JB DMs because I'm fed up of saying it.
Oh, hang on a minute. Give me 1 second.
Oh, dog's just turned up.
Nightmare
Hello,
dog.
Bell boy.
Dog.
I can hear more than a feeling.
Dog.
What a song.
Dog.
I love that song, More Than a Feeling. It's one of my favourite of all times. It is such a 1976. If anybody mentions what it was like, I'll hunt you down.
So you
we're
were
bringing
16
back.
then?
Oh god, we're bringing back all the Motown puns in like 3 weeks, aren't we?
Yeah.
For Detroit.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. I've been working on some as well.
Oh boy.
We've been working on some for 50 years.
We've been together now for 40 years. And it don't seem a day too long. No?
This is where I... Oh, okay. Hello, Matthew.
There you
Goodbye,
go.
guys.
Do you know? Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Matthew Owens. I will take you, and I assume your mother is coming as well.
Back to 1960.
No, to a proper East End Cockney knees up show where we'll sing, knees up Mother Brown, knees up Mother Brown. My personal favourite, my old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way.
So we need to properly plan this out because I've been talking with Matt about this trip to Great Britain over there, and I hear that you are a good 2 or 3 hours plus away from him.
I am. Yep, but easy to get to.
And you're over towards the coast, yes, the East Coast, is that right?
Yes, but the difference is in America, where it takes a day to get to the next city, here it takes like 2 hours, 3. You know, we can cross the country in less than a day. You take 3 days.
Yeah. See, that's the thing because, yes, my mother, my best friend, sweetest woman in the world, we've always wanted to go traveling together. We are now to the point where we can do that. Yes, we want to go to Europe. We want to go to Great Britain. What's the thing about that, by the way? I don't think you ever explained that. Why is it Great Britain and not England?
Because we defeated the Nazis.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay, very good. I suppose a lot of people pitched in on that. The Russians pitched in on that. The Americans pitched in on that.
2 world wars and 1 World Cup. Do-da, do-da.
All right. Question number 2.
Who won
Josh,
the
when are you
bloody
coming to
war
America?
Anyway? Soon. I will be coming to America.
There we go.
So that's my goal, is to be over there sometime next year, but I have to properly choose this because it can't be during March Madness, it can't be during the month of May at Indy, it can't be during Stanley Cup or NBA playoffs.
Why can't it be the month of May?
Also, you've got 2 options of Americans to visit right now in this Discord call. Look me dead in the eyes and say over Southern California, and I love you, Matt. Look me dead in the eyes and say you're going to pick Southern California over either Cincinnati or North Carolina.
Why can't I do North Wilkesboro? Sorry, why can't I...
Okay, no, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
Wait. Why can't I do Bowman Gray for the Clash? Start off with a nice little Daytona as well, then fly back over and do Long Beach with you.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Shall we get this broadcast kind of to a sane part, and Matthew?
The sanity?
Yes.
I'm going to say this. This is going to be the most anticlimactic bump day we've seen in a while if it's just Abel consistently just trying to find anything here and isn't able to do so.
Great Britain is England, Scotland and Wales? No, that's the United Kingdom.
No, that is correct.
No. Don't go like this with me, JT. The United Kingdom is Great Britain, England, Great Britain. Do not go on this with me, my friend.
Oh, boy.
Great Britain is England, Scotland, Wales.
Do you want to fight?
Oh, Lord.
Fine, JT. He's very old.
I've literally got the map up in front of me right here.
Someone disconnected. Alex Blow!
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the car's been really fast all weekend. And we just try and find a bit more speed, a bit more balance, and see if we can get a shot at this pole.
Look, how badly do you want to sit on the pole for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500?
Really badly, really badly. I mean, last year we didn't have the chance. We were lacking a little bit of overall speed, and it feels great to be fighting for the pole again with a fast car. So I cannot wait.
It's been a stellar year for Alex Palou already.
Yeah, thanks, Georgia.
Okay,
explain,
so
right?
the British Isles is everywhere.
Shut up. Let me explain this.
The island is Northern Ireland and Ireland. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland.
Who won the bloody war
Great Britain
anyway?
is the mainland.
Now listen here. This is how it works. If something gets invented in Scotland, it's British. If something is bad, it's Scottish. So, for instance, we have Andy Murray, British. Sir Jackie Stewart, British. Sir Jim Clark, British. David Coulthard, Scottish. Jamie Murray, Scottish.
Not Jamie McMurray.
No.
No, he's still from Joplin, Missouri. Very good.
I thought he hails from Jamie McMurray.
David Tennant, British.
But speaking of Andy Murray, that's another thing that I have to move around with this trip, because I'm hoping to be covering the French Open again next year. I'm doing it again this year remotely. I'm not going to Paris, but I will be covering it
going out
remotely.
of track, but for who?
This is Renus VK.
Ooh, okay, so time gone for Renus
Hold on a
VK.
moment.
And again,
Has
Abel
he deleted his time?
He has. So both him and Abel have deleted their times. Jabel will have to go out as well. This is an interesting
This is not
stretch.
smart. This is not smart. This is not smart at all. Jacob Abel has not shown at any point this weekend or this week that he can improve on his speed from one run to the next in a qualifying sim. This is a terrible move from Renus VK and that team, because now, if he has an issue, hits the wall, crashes, whatever, he cannot respond. This is a bad move.
Wow. Joshua Smith said, first time since 2015 there'll be no American driver in the first 2 rows of the grid. Back then it was Dixon, Power, Pagano, Kanaan, Cashnerez, and Wilson. Wow. So, VK now starts...
I'm trying to think of the last time we've had an All-American front row. It might be a while since we've seen that.
Oh, I've got that in my notebook. Hold on.
Of course you do. You are the mayor of Indianapolis. It'd be very unfortunate for you not to have that.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely have that in my notebook.
Anyway, I've just realised we'll have to do a state visit with you being the mayor. We'd have to get the red carpet out.
Oh, my God.
At the airport.
Please stop with the propaganda here.
I'm not
really
You're not Doug
begging
Bulls,
you.
bud.
I'm not sure if we can get security for you. I mean, it's very... We don't even let our own back in. Prince Harry.
I'll be your security guard, man.
For heaven's sakes, here's the green flag.
Or, as we just like to call Prince Harry now, that ginger...
Okay,
Wow.
warm up lap speed was a 200.166. Very slow warm
right.
up lap speed for Venus VK. Jackson, please get us back on track.
For reference, the last starting grid that was All-American was the 79th in 1995. Scott Brighton. This one is a stretch because Arie Luyendyk, while being Dutch-born, did become a U.S. citizen in 1999. Well, that is a stretch.
Yeah. Scotty Marks just become one as well.
Third is Bobby Rahal. Last true one.
2001. 2001, Scott Sharp, Greg Ray, Robbie Gordon.
Yeah.
There you go.
First lap time, by the way, is a 2:27.235. So he's slower.
I stand by. This is a terrible decision.
JT,
I have no reason to know why this is a good decision for Renus VK. This is quite terrible.
JT, is he faster or slower?
Yes.
Thank you, James May.
Slower by 1.1 miles per hour.
Why go out? This is ridiculous. Because now all Abel has to do is go through. Is Venus sacrificing himself here?
I think there was some confidence in him. He's actually stayed fairly consistent, which you would hope so. 227, 257 for lap number 2. There's got to be some confidence for him to do this run that we do not know about.
Yeah, time wasting.
Maybe in doing so, yeah, it actually almost guarantees that the 18 goes in, maybe hoping that he won't have enough time, or Abel won't have enough time to respond. But with 4 minutes still remaining, he might have pulled the trigger too soon.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time. As we know, these runs normally take 2.5 minutes, so he's well inside the time. He's just taken the white flag. My goodness, lap 3 is a 2:26.6. See, this is what I was concerned about. He could either have an accident or have an issue where he can't complete the run, or he could just go much slower. And now he is inviting Jacob Abel, if he can go north of 2:27, to knock him out.
Abel, this now feels like lamb to the slaughter.
I thought we learned all those years ago with Paul Tracy in, 2010, you do not delete your time. You do not sign the papers to withdraw your time unless you are forced to. VK to the checkered flag.
Wow!
He's gone 226.913. The door is slightly ajar for Jacob Abel.
Forget ajar, he's going to kick it down with a bulldozer. This is ridiculous. I'm slower, I don't know what to say. How about idiot?
This has the makings of one of the all-time terrible decision.
Venus VK.
Transferred from the Abel family to the VK family in a matter of minutes.
And here he comes.
Here we go. Here we go. This is the last run. He's going to take the green inside of 2 minutes. This is the last run. This is it.
So, some food for thought here, guys, because, again, VK clearly thought he had more pace in there, but didn't. So what's to say that Jacob Abel is going to be able to even do this in the first place? Very similar hole to what we saw Nolan Siegel in a couple of exactly a year ago. Rookie bump his way in.
This is like playing chess with yourself, where you know each side's strategy, but you've got two queens on the board, and they have their own mind. So we'll see what happens here.
It looks like simply you're trying to let both drivers decide their fates.
Yes, he didn't have regen the first lap, the first qualifying run. So we thought it'd go a little quicker with the regen, but we went a little slower. So see what happens.
All right, somebody's going to make it.
Best of luck to Jacob.
Oh, my Lord.
I knew he didn't have it. It was stuck at 19%. He had no regen power. Right, Jacob Abel, the floor is yours.
We're quiet in the booth here because we really don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Because VK, who had it locked in the 227s, now drops into a 226. It was a smart-ish move on paper if there was confidence in the car to maybe give himself a little bit more cushion over Abel. But now that he's in a high 226, it is all on what Jacob Abel can do to bump his way into the field. Green flag, Jock.
Away we go. This is ridiculous.
Well, this car just has not had the speed all week long. But we have seen miracles happen here before on this day. We've seen Jack Harvey do it a couple of years ago. This would be pretty miraculous if this young man is able to do it. He's got to reach in and get everything he possibly can out of this race car. And we're about to find out what lap one is going to be about.
226.579. Not good enough.
Needs something in the 227s right here. No.
Ball game. Mid 226.
Well, that's confirmed Andretti's racing. So is Armstrong. They're in. That's good news.
That's a heroic effort from the 66 team to get into this 500 after what happened yesterday.
No, 100%. Jacob Abel still flat through turn number 3. Still not quite on the button as the 5 o'clock gun goes off. Lap number 2.
226.423.
It's just, it hasn't been there the entire time.
It's so slow. I thought that was the 3rd lap. This is, yeah, well, goodbye, Jacob Abel. Turns out you weren't.
There's a new Captain Slow in town.
I'm not shocked, but I'm surprised. Thought Abel had more. His speed traps were showing it early on in the race. There's the white flag. You are looking at the driver who will be bumped from the 500. Jacob Abel in the number 51 Dale Coyne Racing. Even the camera's given up looking at him. And look at Venus VK pretending like he's nervous.
No smiles on his face yet.
Yeah.
He's pretending like he's nervous.
This is a guy that has only started in the top 7 his entire career here. Now he's just fist fighting to start 33rd. But he is going to. He is going to start this race on Sunday, Renus VK. And we're about to get absolute confirmation of that here. Jacob Abel is going to be out, Josh.
Over the line, the flag falls, and Jacob Abel is bumped from the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. We have our 33 runners. Andretti, Armstrong and VK make it. And now it's time to set the top 6. Let's hear from Venus VK.
No means in the way that he wanted to be. Georgia's standing by with him.
A mix of emotions for Venus VK. Please explain them.
Yeah, I feel relief, but no real happiness. We were just very slow, both Jacob and I. Unfortunately, it was one of the two that was going to go out. You know, Jacob's not just a teammate, he's a really good friend, so I feel bad for him. This was going to be his first, this will be my 6th. Of course, it feels good to make the field, but it's just, it is very, very much the definition of bittersweet.
Your team owner, Dale Coyne, said he put your fate kind of in your own hands. Why did you make the decision to pull your time and go again?
Well, I did not have any hybrid power on my first run. I wasn't sure if it was going to be better, but I did not want to leave anything up to chance. So I just want to go out there. It was a very slow run, so I was really afraid. I thought that was it. I'm actually happy Jacob went out, and he was slower in the end. But yeah, we need to find some speed now for the race because with this pace being so far off the next car, we don't really have a chance there.
Congratulations, you have made the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500.
Thank you.
Do you know what's even more embarrassing? The INDYCAR team had a graphic ready for him that said bumped with a capital full stop in bold letters. It's harsh.
And this is going to be a hard scene to watch as well.
Yeah, it will. I just want to mention for those of you listening on USRN, we're just going to go to break real quick so we can transition to the run for the pole here in a moment. So if you're listening on USRN, we'll be right back. So, guys, first off, first, guys, I want to, JB, JT, thank you as always. This is always one of my personal favorite weekends for many reasons. And one of it is to be with you two. And just enjoy what Indianapolis gives us for the greatest qualifying in world motorsport. With that said, I will be heading off. We will have we've got a USRN booth put together for the run for the pole.
Oh!
So, I hope you guys enjoy the run for the pole. Who's everyone taking?
I will take Polo.
I had McLaughlin earlier, man, but now I genuinely... why not? Give me Pato. We'll take Pato.
I was fully ready to take Polo and run with it, but that first run, I don't know if there was sandbagging going on or not, but I just don't love what he showed in that first run. I actually think Felix Rosenquist is going to take this, which I was not anticipating.
Well, I'm surprised you're leaving, but it's been a pleasure. Enjoy.
Absolutely, always love being on with you guys, especially for this weekend. And if we don't talk again in person before, everyone enjoy the 500 next Sunday. It's the greatest event in the world.
Like I'm going to turn up to your house just randomly and talk to you in person.
Aren't we on the All-Star broadcast together?
I do not know. I know I've got at least someone joining, I think. So I do not know what the All-Star. I'll let people that are above me choose that.
We'll see you for the All-Star race.
Who is above the mayor of Indianapolis?
Oh, God.
I have no idea.
Oh, you have to stop. All right, gentlemen. I'm out. Enjoy the run for the pole.
Bye-bye, Ted Danson.
God.
JT, come on.
Matthew... Wait, hold on.
I can't believe he's ditched us.
Matthew Owens, you part-timer. Who else is a part-timer? Jacob Abel.
We're flat the whole way. Do you come away thinking there's anything
that was harsh
you could do?
Yeah, no, sadly. I mean, unfortunately, starting yesterday, kind of been preparing for this a little bit. Super weird situation. We were happy all week. We're happy all week long. The 51 Miller High Life car was fast, and we were fast in no-toes. We were very conservative with everything. We're kind of ready to trim out. Yesterday, it seems like something just happened overnight, Friday to Saturday, and we just immediately lost speed, and it's just been getting slower and slower every single run. thought we had a chance there at the end because our teammate went slower. It's not how you want to do it, obviously. We're both back there. I don't need to tell you guys how good Rinus VeeKay is around here, but yeah, I think we're struggling a little bit. It sucks. Thought this was going to be my first Indy 500, but yeah, hopefully that day will come sooner rather than later.
The list is long of really quality drivers. Pato O'Ward did not make the Indy 500 his first time by. Does that give you any solace at this time?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, knowing that I was flat all 4 laps on every attempt, and we were just a little bit behind our teammate there, who's been on the front row here like every single time. So yeah, it's been a tough season so far, to be honest. But yeah, keep getting knocked down over and over again, kind of. But yeah, hopefully we'll figure it out and rebound.
Thank you, Jacob. Chris.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And we are with Chip Ganassi, owner of Chip Ganassi Racing, and 6 Indianapolis 500 wins, and you won from the pole with Scott Dixon, and you have a chance of him being on the pole again.
Well, we do, Chris. Thank you. As you can see here, this place. It's tough to get everything right when you get to Indianapolis. We slowed down a little bit in the Fast 12, but we're looking forward to the Fast 6 here any minute.
You've got the driver, the engineer, and the owner. A lot of weight you can pull. Who's calling the shots on how much you trim, how aggressive you get, and do they still have something left in them, or is it a matter of rerunning and feeling confident about that?
That's a great question. That's a great question. That we're constantly making changes to the car as we go. Changing conditions. You can see behind us, the shade has gone, the shade over the front straightaway now. Conditions change all the time here. You need to change with it.
You've driven real quick, 1982. We had a picture of you in the Indy 500 as a driver. I know you love it as an owner. It's such a special event with a lot of memories, and we're going to head upstairs to the guys for the Fast 6. I know you'll be watching with us rather closely. Will, take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris. This is where it gets serious. 6 drivers, 1 shot for the pole at the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. It doesn't get any tougher than this.
And guys, let's talk about the driver we're looking at right now. Takuma Sato, one of the oldest drivers in the field, at 48 years old, 2-time winner. He's an Indy 500 one-off ride with Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. Impressive that he's here.
Firestone Fast 6.
It's just, we had that practice crash, that testing crash a few weeks back, destroyed his primary race car. The RLL team had to put together another race car, and it is equally as fast.
Different than the LCQ that we just finished, that battle to make the Indy 500, because now you get 1 chance, 1 shot.
Yep, just 1 shot left. Welcome to the Firestone Fast 6 to decide the pole sitter for the 2025 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. We are underway. Takuma Sato, first time on the track. Jackson Lambrose and Josh Turner alongside me in the booth. And here we go then,
Hello.
guys. It's race time. What are we thinking?
I think it is. Pato called his shot, and he said it was going to be O'Ward versus Fro for the front row. I really do think so. Throw in 1 Ganassi, and I really think that is going to be your front row, whether it's Pelot or Dixon, we'll find out. It's really hard to say, though, considering the pace that Takuma has shown, not just in the April pre-month test, but this entire weekend. So the 48-year-old 2-time winner, very, very strong thus far, guys.
JT, he's coming to his warm-up lap. What's he been tracking in the races so far?
It's not had races yet, so...
You know what I mean.
I don't know, because I've not got the sheet open on that page.
Okay. Well, there's JT. We'll now do a series of other commentator errors. We get the warm-up lap to begin and the green flag to start it. Is this our pole sitter, the 2-time winner who desperately wants a 3rd to win again in front of the sellout crowd we'll have here next week? This is the crunch point, and this is the crunch time.
No Japanese athlete has made an entire nation watch since Shohei Ohtani, like Takuma Sato. His ability to perform not just in 2017 when he got his maiden one, but to stun and somehow fight back with this team right here to get it in 2020. Make no mistake, he drives, he might be in his late 40s, but he drove like he just showed up for the first time, but with a maturity still like we've seen from nobody else. Flat out in the early 30s here, early 230s, out of the corner. This is a guy that drives on the absolute limit. Josh, here comes lap 1.
2:33.024. Stunning opening time from Takuma Sato. There's a few round of applause just behind us as well. That is a fantastic run. And he's got more and more and more to run. What's lap 2 going to be? He's only used 5% of hybrid though.
Used a big chunk of it in the first lap. I feel like he's saving some for the actual front stretch here. Back out of turn number 4, keeping it completely pinned. There is a confidence that we have not seen from a lot of people inside Takuma Sato as he comes across. 232.308. He's had a major drop-off, Josh, but he's still found a little bit here to stop the bleeding.
He's used a bit more hybrid power as well. This is it. You only get one run as well as we run towards the top of the hour. He's having to use more hybrid. Look at this, already on the backstrap, lap 3. 62% left, now 60 as he comes in towards turn 3 and 4. This was not part of the game plan. It's starting to go a little bit wrong, but the worst you can do here is 6. Unless you throw it into the wall, then you face a whole heap of trouble. He's close to that at the exit. Lap 3 across the line then, and the time is a 2:32.552. Slightly faster, brings that average back up.
So he's found time, and in doing so, used a little bit of hybrid to help him out. Where Takuma is finding his pace is just knowing what the absolute limit is, how quick you can get that wheel back to center, and how close you can run to the outside wall while keeping it pinned. Let's see it one more time here into the north half of the speedway.
Final corner coming up, maximum speed. Hybrid energy is nearly running out, 25% left. He uses it all. Aaron Likens will wave the checker flag. Takuma Sato's 4th lap will be a 2:32.030. It averages out 2:32.478, and that's our benchmarker to start here in the Fast 6.
Only the first run. But when this guy comes out to do his 4 laps, there is a level of excitement, a level of energy
Takuma Sato
he brings out in this grandstand. Just the level of excitement he brings is bar none. Great qualifying from him. And again, I think this is just the start of the excitement we're going to see this man bring over the next 2 weeks.
Next up, it's going to be Alex Palou running second. The man looking to become a multiple pole sitter, but a first-time winner at the Brickyard for the 500. Last time he was on pole here was 2023, but this is the man who leads the championship. He's won the opening 4 out of 5 rounds, only beat once. He is the man of the moment in this series. And very little stands in his way, but could we get a pole? He's been fast here though, Jackson, all weekend.
Not a lot following up when it comes to flying the Spanish flag. Oriol Servia and others, Fernando Alonso, have started in INDYCAR and in this series, but he has forged the way in terms of race winners and championship winners to fly the Spanish flag. On it for his warm-up lap.
So turn 1, slow build up here. And this is actually a problem that we never usually have. A setting sun. This is now the issue as well. Low light conditions. Similar time we were running the race in late last year, but we had cloud cover back then. Here it's a beautiful day. The drivers don't ever really get to race in these times. So the sun and the visibility lines, Jackson, causing a few problems through turn 2 as we get the green flag flies below.
What we've got to consider as well is the long, long shadows they cast as the green flag flies for Alex Palou's run. Another little bit of a factor as well. You have that variety in tracks. Turn 1, those grandstands doing a great job of cooling this section of the track down with the shadows it's casting. But the track in general, especially when you consider the 130-degree record conditions we had Friday evening, The track temp right now is as cool as it has been, I believe, this entire month. So very, very big help here for Palou and everybody. But again, as we run later and later in the day, this track's only going to get cooler. Palou to the line here for lap number 1.
Over it goes. 2:31. 9:46. It's not good enough. It's way off the pace of what Sato was able to do with a 2:33. Suddenly, Palou's chances of pole look like they're vanishing. He can't do what Dixon and Cash Neves last did in 2008 and 9 and get the pole and the win.
So maybe a repeat of the 2023 run for Alex Palou, looking a little bit more difficult as he comes out of turn number 4. But again, this is a guy that's able to maintain pace and even find it in the secondary laps. Let's see what he can do as he comes to the line for the second time.
2:31.921 remains average. A few people saying that warning clear that this is just a safety run. Believe me, in the Fast 6, they want the pole. Palou wants the pole. He doesn't just want to be in the 500, he wants to own every inch of it. He's come so far. He's been putting on a show. He wants that mentality that I'm the man to beat in IndyCar right now.
This is the time you don't conserve. You've done every single run and gotten every bit of feedback so that you can make it here. Join this conversation to try and stand on the front of the Indy 500. Lap number 3 in the white flag. It's a 2:31.669. It's front row worthy for sure, Josh, but right now it's not pole material.
Nowhere near. Sato might actually have something here, but we've still got some other fast runners to go. Maybe we're going to see Dixon, Schwarzman, maybe even O'Ward. Everybody looking at Rosenquist as well. Can he do it in the 60? Surprised us all earlier on. Here we go then. It will be up to the line for Alex Palou. We already know it's not going to be pole position. Our attention turns to if it's going to be quick enough to keep himself on the front row of the grid. Lap 4, a 2:30.510. Averages out 2:31.378. I don't think that's fast enough for the front row. I will turn to JT, who's got the numbers though. Don't think that's going to be fast enough. Oh, this is going to be fun, Jackson. This is going to be tension rising.
We have never seen a Spaniard qualify on pole until Alex Palou. Someone of Japanese descent has never stood on the pole. Could this man change that? We've never seen an Israeli ever simply qualify for the 500. And Robert Schwarzman, some argue, has a brilliant opportunity to stand on the pole. Essentially, we're going to see some nation firsts here if we don't see Palou or Dixon on the pole, guys.
Prema has a chance, says Paradox. Hello, Rukta, saying bye-bye, Alex. Too much downforce for Ganassi. Dentron says Sato retains for now. Paradox in too slow. The favourite horse is over. Now our attention turns to a man who's got this pole 5 times. Scott Dixon now comes to play for the other Chip Ganassi Racing. And does the 9 car have something that the 10 didn't? He begins his warm-up lap.
We heard it from Matt Owens earlier, the opportunity for Scott Dixon, well, the season-long one, to beat AJ Foyt on all-time wins, and a little bit of a side quest this time. Should he stand on the pole, he will have done it more than any other driver, beating Rick Mears at 5. Keeps that car completely pinned through turn number 2, and a little bit of work on the buttons, pulling on the hybrid power here as he works his way down the backstretch, turn 3.
Trying to get every single bit of power he can do before the end of the first lap time run will come up next time by. Green flag is in the air, and Scott Dixon starts qualifying with a very special man waving the green flag. That is his former crew chief.
In through turn number 1. Keeping it in 5th and not going into 4th, unlike his teammate Alex Palou. That's showing me good momentum being carried for the time being, as we see the ghost car now as Dixon tries to chase down Takuma Sato.
I like
Keeps it
this.
smooth through 3 and 4, runs a little bit wider than Takuma, trying to maximize and carry as much of that momentum as possible. Dixon was going as high as 240 on full boost into turn number 1 this week. We'll see what he can do. 238, 239, almost at 240. Still not enough to catch Taku.
First lap time to 2:32.537. It's put him provisionally first because of the average time at the moment, but he's not anywhere near Sato yet, is he? He's changing some diffs. Obviously, he can't see the ghost car. Only we can at home, but he'll be having the telemetry data of Sato as well, so he'll know where he's losing out the time, and he's gained a lot through 3. He's going to try to take a higher line through 4, cuts down low, brings it up higher, quicker, runs it very close to the wall. It's not doing anything. Lap 2, 232.092, half a mile an hour slower, Jackson.
So still not enough to get to Kumasato, who has been untouchable through the first couple of runs here. But again, still front row stuff, and definitely enough to currently out-qualify his Chip Ganassi teammate Alex Palou. But some major drop-off here being the big difference as to Kumasato, the ghost car, actually gaining more position as that fall-off is significant for the New Zealander.
Over the back we come, lap 3, 231.872. So it won't be pole for Dixon either. But he's going to be ahead of Palou at this rate.
So still in the cards is a 2 Ganassi front row, but still some strong running here as Dixon still trying. He's actually saved all of his hybrid and kind of put it on one big lap here. Dumped it all in the front straightaway, waited in the first short shoot, and just now off the button through the north end. 231 at the apex of turn number 3, and flat out as he comes to the line.
Dixon's lap, 231.910, averages out at a 232.051. He will go in second position. Sato currently on top for pole. Half 30 through the fast 6. 3 more very powerful runners. Schwarzman, Prama's first time here. Pato O'Ward coming through from McLaren. And the 60th Felix Rosenquist going to make a run as well.
So again, you look at the level of dominance that not just Alex Palou, but Chip Ganassi has had over the past, well, this entire season, let's be frank. And to have not just an RLL car, a one-off RLL car being driven by a 48-year-old who has not been in the race car in over a year. That's pretty special, and we've got an opportunity for something really special if this man right here can build up to the hype that has been expected for him. Robert Schwarzman, his first month of May at the Speedway ever, and has wowed not only his Prima competition in this team's maiden trip to Indy, but has potentially put the stuff together to put him on pole position. What can this Israeli driver do for Prema?
Well, it's Israeli on his license, but he is Russian-born. Let's not forget that as well, and keep that through. But that's a whole different story of how difficult. He's even joked about it, as he says, as well. He can't seem to pick a right country. He joked about as well recently. His official license is from Israel. He's part Russian, part Israeli. Hometown is from Tel Aviv. I can just hear my mother saying, I've been there, I've been there. Here we go then, building up for Prema, or Prema. If you're American, it's Prema. If you're British, it's Prema. As they come over the line, we've lost TV pictures. Someone pulled out a plug. JT, if you've got pictures, now's the time we need them, because we've lost them up here in the commentary box. JT, do you have pictures? Yes.
I do have pictures.
Go for it. We need pictures and sound as we come up to the lap.
25 years young, Robert Schwarzman, born in Tel Aviv, raised in St. Petersburg and Italy, actually.
Thank you, JT. We can now see the pictures on the thing. Jackson, take it.
Green flag flies here for Robert Schwarzman. His maiden Fast 6 attempt in turn 6. He's got that thing hauling towards turn number 1. Keeps it pinned through the short chute. Still no lift as he keeps it not just pinned, but in 6th. as he works his way out of turn number 2, very close to the outside wall, and lets it flow just to the middle of the track, heading towards turn number 3.
JT, you can turn back to your normal stuff now, thank you very much. As we come in, and the action continues on, we have TV pictures back again. And what's the first lap going to come then for Robert Schwarzman as we go? Green flag running here. Let's go, let's go.
On the warm-up
it's
lap.
a 2:33.166. Robert Schwarzman has provisional pole from Sato.
Don't get excited just yet, Josh, because we know the style that Rob has ran these qualifying sessions, and it's very rookie-esque, all out in the opening laps, but that drop-off comes hard and it comes fast, so we're going to see how quick he's able to maintain that pace coming into lap 2. It looks real good so far, though, as he manages to keep it pinned and in top gear, using a little bit of hybrid from automatic deployment, not on the button too fast. Here comes lap 2.
2:32.931! Averaging 2:33! As things stand, we have a new pole sitter! And it's going to be Prema on their first appearance that is coming through! Now,
we
this
thought
is
that
more better.
Takuma Sato has been untouchable so far in qualifying, and Robert Schwarzman puts a whole mile an hour on him and is so far ran in a league of his own. Still completely dialed in through 3 and 4. A little bit of a wiggle through turn 4, I won't lie, Josh, but he will see the white flag.
2:32.279. The third lap time is improving. Is this going to be Prema's first appearance and their first ever pole? Can Robert Schwarzman hold it together? So much dominance in the junior formula in Europe. Test driver for former Ferrari. This is going to be the big run into turn 3. Still got 41% of hybrid power left. Into the last corner. It's a run to the checkered flag. Prema on their first appearance will cross the line of bricks, and it's going to be provisional pole. Robert Schwarzman, a 2:32.790. He monsters to the top, and Schwarzman is our new pole sitter with O'Ward and Rosenquist left. But one thing is for certain, on their first appearance, Prema start on the front row of the grid for the 109th Indy 500.
And the grandstands are bumping, even to the point that even Takuma Sato couldn't help but smile and give a round of applause. Major hugs here from the Prema side of the pit row. You've still got 2 major front runners here in Felix Rosenquist and Pato O'Ward on the docket here for the final 2 to qualify. But from a team and a driver that we were expecting to be top contenders to be bumped, Robert Schwarzman will start the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 from the front row.
JT, this is special. Prema in their first appearance. They are in tears down there. All the hard work that they've put in. We were saying, are they ready? They were late to day 1, and now they've got until this.
Complete underdogs. Absolutely amazing from Prema. Look at pit road as Robert Schwarzman comes down.
It's like he's already got the pole. He's provisional at the moment. Firehawk celebrating by clapping as well. But let's see what the McLaren can do. Here comes Pato O'Ward. The Mexican driver is going to try and take it for the top spot. This is going to be a little bit more special, JT, because Pato has got so close in years gone by. He wants this bad. Green flag in the air, Jackson.
Monterey born, San Antonio, Texas raised. This kid tapping in a little bit more to his Aztec heritage here with a mythological being of a origin that Pato, I think himself, is not entirely familiar with, other than it looks cool and it's from where I'm from, so I'm going to put it on my head. Robert Schwarzman, a bow and a wave to the crowd here, as this kid is truly something special, even to the point where maybe Roger Penske and Chip Ganassi might be batting an eye. But everyone in IMS potentially about to remember what kind of a kid Pato O'Ward is. Out of turn number 4 for the final time, runs very wide, but in 5th, now to 6th, he comes to the line.
Over we go. It's a 2:32.490. It's not good enough for provisional pole. Schwarzman has hold of that at the moment with Sato in second position. So now the question is, can Pato gain the speed back? He's 0.4 away from where he needs to be to beat Schwarzman there, Jackson. And that could be with hybrid power. He's got 97% left.
That's going to be a difference of maybe 5-6 miles an hour at most before you scrub all of that off into turns 1 and 2. Been a lot of guys deploying it differently. We'll see how he does it here as he comes to the line to end lap 2.
That too, 2:32.060. Yes, that puts him third. Pato's now dropped down to third, so that could be Dixon for the front row. This is going to be a bit close because Dixon could go into third place still if this lap time for O'Ward is slower. This is going to be lap 3 to run by. And then we've only got Felix Rosenquist left. And he was fast earlier on. We could be in for a surprise here. Over the line to take the white flag, 2:31.949. He's still running third, Jackson.
To the line. It is a 2:31.949, so not good enough for the front row. If this stands right now, this will be a best qualifying effort from Takuma Sato, beating his 2020 result of third. That would lead to his win. That would be some amazing stuff from Takuma Sato at 48 years young. Pato O'Ward, though, with the consistency potentially to still outpace Dixon. I don't know if he can get Sato, though, Josh.
Out of the last corner, up to the line. We know that's going to be Schwarzman on the front row. Sato might join him, but is Dixon going to be there over the line? Pato O'Ward's fourth lap is a 2:31.894, average out 2:32.098, and that's third and front row for McLaren. One left then, just a single run to decide the running orders, and it's Felix Rosenquist. Let's hear that from
500. Can you put this effort into words?
Honestly, it feels like I'm dreaming. I just had it in my dreams, you know, when I was going, I was like, how would it feel to like do such a good job in quali, you know, and generally it's Indy 500, that's the main race of the year, and I'm like, and then I done this run, and the car felt amazing, like so fast, and now we're holding the first place. There's only one car to go, so it's either P1 or P2, man. I mean, good. I really hope he's going to do a good job, but anyways, I'm really proud of the team, proud of everybody who have been involved in this, and honestly, it feels unbelievable.
Guys, one car to go.
One car. Yes, Georgia, one more left, and it is Felix Rosenquist. Do we dream?
Only 4 rookies have started on pole for the Indianapolis 500. No one has done it since 1996. Some guy named Tony Stewart. And Felix Rosenquist could still be a major spoiler here in the 60, but with arms wide open, we will watch as Fro will try to become the second Swede to start on the front row. Best start third back in 2023.
Warm-up lap begins then. Tension builds up. This is our last one. And this is going to be history either way. Will Felix Rosenquist line up on pole position for the first time for Meyer Shank Racing, or will Robert Schwarzman line up on pole for Premo Racing? Oh, this is just too good. This is why Indianapolis qualifying is the best qualifying in history. Green flag, one more runner then. Let's set the pole for the 500. Away we go.
I think Robert Schwarzman is going to be fine with whatever happens here with Felix Rosenquist, but regardless, what a story it would still be for Felix Rosenquist, the first ever pole position at the 500 for Meyer Shank Racing in the cards, and a long lineage of Felix Rosenquist's Saturday magic, qualifying magic. He could finally potentially grab the big one here as he navigates his way through turns 3 and 4, still smooth.
First lap time on the board then. JT pictures now as they come through. What's it going to be? I can't quite tell on the monitor. 2:32.505. It's not good enough. It is not good enough as it stands. It will not be the 500. It's going to be Robert Schwarzman, who currently has it though. And Jackson, this is going to be close stuff as we have pictures back. JT, switch back.
To say that nobody had this in their cards is an understatement. Again, the biggest contender, just on paper, a guy who's never seen the Speedway with a team who's never seen the Speedway. The way we've seen junior Formula teams come here and run at the Speedway would show us that a lack of respect leads to guys getting bumped, not Prema.
Over the line, 2:32.098. It's gone down to third. Prema are celebrating down there, but they're holding their nerve. They know it can only be the 4-lap average that they can relax on. It's looking amazing right now, but it could be Pato O'Ward in the front row because the time for Rosenquist is dropping.
Make no mistake, this is still a flyer from Felix Rosenquist, and Pato's theories of him battling with his former AMSP teammate and his buddy Felix Rosenquist still very much alive, only instead of pole, it's for starting the 109th on the front row. White flag for Felix Rosenquist.
2:31.529, that last lap time. It's brought him down to 5th place. It is over. Prema can celebrate. They know they have the 500. They're high-fiving. They're getting ready to jump up. It's like when the whistle is about to be blown at the end of the football game. You already know the score. You already know you've won. You've already started to believe and hope, but all the expectations get built up inside you. It starts to leak out, and soon you can punch the air, you can jump for joy, you can scream until your lungs can't take any more. It's going to be Rosenquist over the line of bricks to take the average time of a 2:31.987, and Robert Schwarzman and Prema Racing on debut are the pole sitters for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. The Italian team have come to the States and have swept away the competition for not even being ready in day one of practice. They have done the impossible, and Robert Schwarzman is on pole, and Prema make history on their first attempt. Let battle commence for 500 miles.
Make no mistake about Robert Schwarzman. Israel-born, Russia-raised, but a large time of his life spent right here in Italy with Prema. And we talk about phenomenal stories during Indy 500 qualifying. All of Team Penske failing to qualify. Fernando Alonso getting bumped by Kyle Kaiser in 2019. I genuinely think this triumphs all of them and is in the running for one of the greatest stories ever driven here on qualifying weekend at the 500.
Race in the world. Can you believe this? You've won the pole for the biggest race.
No, honestly, I can't believe, like, I was closing my eyes, I was like, this is a dream, it can't be true, like, honestly, I don't know what even to say, and this is my place. I mean, the car felt amazing, like, honestly, like, I can't thank Prema, I can't thank Chevy, like, they did such a good job, like, honestly, it's unbelievable, and honestly, coming here for my first oval race, I would never even expect myself to be in this position. It's unbelievable, honestly. Big thanks to everybody, big thanks to the fans who came here, who were cheering for me. Big thanks to y'all. Oh man, it's unbelievable.
You missed the first day of practice. You guys weren't quite ready. How did this happen? Where did you find this speed to beat the heavyweights in the sports?
Well, I have to say big thanks to my engineers because they did an amazing job by step improving the car, trying new things. And you know, all of these steps that we've done, they were just better. And then we came to a point where like the car is really good, just let's skip it. You know, like this morning, we wake up and we were like, should we try, should we risk? And I was like, you know, last call I said, guys, no, let's just stick the car how it is and just let's do it, and that's it.
What can you do in the race next Sunday?
Honestly, I don't want to think now at this stage. For me, now I just want to appreciate this moment. We'll think of it next week, what's going to be in the race. You know, I've never raced in the oval before, so that's going to be a first experience for me. But I suppose just, you know, be consistent, do a good run, and we're going to finish where we're going to finish.
Congratulations, Robert Schwarzman, first rookie pole winner here since '83, just the second since 1951 to Chris Myers.
What did we just witness?
The most annoying person you know just commented that this pole was promised to him 5,000 years ago. Unreal.
I can't believe it. What a run. That is sheer perfection, Jackson. Sheer perfection.
To not only... It wasn't even a game of inches. It was clearly Robert Schwarzman in a league of his own. And I'm almost nervous to see what this thing is going to look like on the back half of Tech. But we're going to take this moment and just soak it all in, because this place is special, and it is so often brutal to rookies, to people who have dreamed their entire life for being here. For reference, see Jacob Abel. But sometimes, when you are destined to not only run for a new team at a new place, in a series you've never ran, for a type of track you've never driven at, when all odds are against you, this place picks you, and you get to start on the inside of the front row for the world's greatest race.
So here's the results then. It's going to be the starting grid: Schwarzman, Sato, O'Ward, Dixon, Rosenquist, Below. That's your first rows of the Indy 500 grid. Let's get final thoughts then as well. I don't know if Omi's still in the box, but I presume he might need some resuscitation after Prema getting pole position, and Robert Schwarzman as well. Omi, if you are here, I hope you're okay, and you might need something. He is here. Omi, how are you?
Just about. What in the world have we just seen? I'm trying not to swear, but what was that? That is unbelievable. Greatest spectacle on earth, and Robert Schwarzman absolutely deserving that one, and I'm really happy to be able to see his talent finally being discovered. It's really annoying when it doesn't get discovered by a lot of people at the time when these drivers are doing so good in the junior series. But I'm finally happy to say that people are finding out how talented this driver is, and I am hyped for the 500.
JT, what about you, my friend?
What just happened?
History. I think it's safe to say. Utter, brilliant, boring, spectacular history we just witnessed over the last 3 hours of the broadcast. Can Prema do it? Can they go all the way? That's you, JT.
No.
Oh, sport. All right. Thanks, JT. Jackson, what about you? Final thoughts?
I mean, wow. Like, so many different storylines. Obviously, we'll start with this. Heartbroken for Jacob Abel, but you look at the long line of rookies who have struggled here and have been fantastic in the following years. Nolan Siegel, who's just had a rocket of a season following him getting bumped. You look at Pato O'Ward getting bumped back in 2019. The Kaiser year, the Kaiser Alonso year. Only the best in front of that young man from Kentucky. But you go and you look at another rookie, the first one to stand on the front row, to stand inside the front row since 1996, since the great Tony Stewart. This is something special that Prema and Robert Schwarzman are putting together. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. Rookie team is not a word we use, but this is a type of run we've never seen from a first-year team before. And I am so excited to see just how things stack out next weekend, because genuinely, our guess is as good as yours.
Yeah, it's that simple. We have no idea what could happen, and that's what we like. The hybrid has thrown in a true unpredictable race for the 500, and that's just how we like it. Well, my thanks to you, Jackson. My thanks to JT, Omi, and Matthew Owens as well. What a race we have lined up for you. It's not over yet, though, here on JB Motorsports. Join us tomorrow for practice coverage. Yeah, they go practicing again. 2 more hours on the Monday. Then we take a break. Friday, we're back with Carb Day, plus the pit stop practice. We're going to be bringing that to you as well. They're having fun. We're going to have fun as well on that broadcast, and plan some special things, as we'll treat it as like a warm-up, like Air Fox do as well. And then we are going to be on air for a brilliant build-up to the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. Yeah, we've got Monaco, but don't worry. We've got a good pre-show planned. That's going to be made during the week as well. Well, history in the making. Can Prema do it? Either way, that's a story for next week. Right now, Robert Schwarzman and Prema Racing are pole for the 109th running of the Indy 500. My thanks to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. This is tomorrow. It's now.